All right, we're setting up the live stream for Facebook and YouTube, and we should be all set in a moment. All right, I think we're all set here. And then make I invite my brother Mr. K, because now me and him get this round today. Make I invite Mr. K. Anyway, when I welcome. And just small debates while on debate. But anybody who's available anyway, feel free, request and we debate before we get into it. All right, make I find Mr. K. Hopefully I can find him real quick. Thank you for joining. We're in a small debate while I run with Mr. K today, so you guys feel free to be here and hear the arguments. Let's hear the arguments on this. Let us hear the arguments on this. All right, Mr. K, make I message him. All right. I mean, again, a small light debate while on debate. But anyway, it's gonna be a debate between me and Mr. K, who's a friend here on TikTok. You know, we've had he's been a regular on the. I don't know if you guys. For those who just started following me, I used to host this show, you know, the debate where we debate, not me per se, but I host, you know, contenders who debate on P2B, Tinubu and Atiku, who's the best for the country, right? And I'm going to be hosting that show, I think, next Sunday. Hopefully, you know, next Sunday I'm going to plan that show out and host that show again one more time because it's been a long time coming. I never host that show in a minute. But anyway, Mr. K, shout out to Mr. K. Naim to always win the debate. Anytime he come, he's a Tinubu supporter. He always wins the debate. Like he debates against P2B's supporters, Atiku supporters, and he always wins. So definitely a very good debater. So this is just a background on this show today, right? So I made this monologue recently on turn by turn politics. You know whose turn it is. Emiloko is my turn. Is the South turn? Is the West turn? Is the North turn? It is Nigeria's turn. It is Nigerians' turn. You know, that's the opinion I'm on. You know, I believe the turn by turn politics what they practice for Nigeria. It's not the best. It's not the best. It inhibits a lot of things. It limit the kind of leaders who we get. We only get people who are from elite class, all that good stuff. Because, you know, if it's turn by turn, then it's definitely handpicked by a group of people, by the elite, by the politicians still. So it's definitely on that in that note or in that regard. Now it make me Mr. K, by the way, he reached out. He's like, I would like to debate you on this. You know, he thinks it's a great idea. So we set up this show. I've sent him a DM, so he should be joining in a moment. Hopefully, he'll join in a moment, and we'll go from there. But in the meantime, while we're here, if you feel, say, the turn-by-turn politics in Nigeria is also a good thing, feel free to request. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it while we wait for Mr. K, who's our number one debater on TikTok, you know. But anyway, hey, man, power rotation, at some point, it was necessary, you know. It was necessary at some point, but it's limiting Nigeria's growth. Absolutely, definitely limiting Nigeria's growth. You cannot have a country where we are doing turn by turn, and you know, say for instance, and this is just a basic argument, right? Say, for instance, and shout out to Tinubu, at least, he don't break that Muslim ticket. At least Nigerians now know that that thing is trash. If you find two, I'm not saying that Tinubu is competent or he's not competent, but I'm just saying, if you find two competent people, regardless of where they're from, regardless of what religion they practice, they should be the ones ruling, the country, not based on turn by turn. Not based on, it's not the South turn, it's not the West turn, it's not this one turn, all that good stuff. So shout out to Tinubu on that. Again, I'm not endorsing him saying, I'm just saying he has broken that jinx of, Muslim tickets will not fly. He has shattered that one. So next time, Nigeria will grow from that, So shout out to him on that one. But the one we had to talk about, now the turn by turn one, this is our turn. It's South turn, it's North turn. It limits the kind of leaders that we have. And I'll just give a very basic argument here, right? A very basic argument. Imagine, and I gave this argument on the monologue. Feel free to check out that monologue on Whose Turn. You'll see it on my page. It's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook as well. So feel free to check it out, right? But anyway, two people use if there are let me use what's Sanwo-Olu and Oti right now, right? In my opinion, they're the best performing governors right now in Nigeria as it stands. In my opinion, they're the two best performing governors right now. So let's say Tinubu wins the next election. Let's assume Tinubu wins the next election. Then the next election cycle, right? Now, we have brains like Sanwo-Olu and Oti in the South. I would like somebody to tell me, because obviously, the next president is going to be someone who's already in politics, right? It's going to be somebody who is, maybe a previous governor, a previous this, a previous that, right? That's who the next president will be. So let's imagine that the next election cycle comes. Sanwo-Olu and Oti, they are ready to work together, maybe as president and vice. But now, they are from the South. Two Southern people cannot be vice and president at the same time. What do you mean? If these people have track records, where with everybody they see. Alex Oti currently, let me start with Sanwo-Olu, because I know I wouldn't say one person is copying from the other, but now one person where we see first, and then the other one. Sanwo-Olu currently is commissioning, creating rail lines in Lagos, right? We are seeing these things happening. And every day we talk about why our railway system is not working in Nigeria. Sanwo-Olu is doing it in Lagos. We are seeing it. It's working. I saw the train station in Lagos. It's working. It's beautiful. It's functional. They work. Alex Oti doing the same thing. He's in the process now of setting up a railway line in Aba or Abia State, right? And I'm not saying, because somebody's going to say, now because of railway. No, it's not just that. Go and look. I don't know a lot of Sanwo-Olu's policies, but at least I can speak on Alex Oti, right? Alex Oti is trying to creating policies that would remove Abia State from the national grid to make sure Abia State has light. Because the national grid is faulty as we know it. It's faulty. So if he removes Abia State from that grid, then Abia State will be managing its own grid. But by that way, it's smaller, it's local, it would be easier to fix if there are issues and all that good stuff, right? So you see people that have these kind of policies that are working in the South, Sanwo-Olu and Oti. And tomorrow you say, no, it's not the South turn, it's the North turn. Okay, I would like to know who is the Northern person in the next election cycle that you would say, let us use that person. Let us vote for that person. Let us support that person, right? Because he has track record. I want to know. I don't, again, I couldn't even speak a lot about Sanwo-Olu. I just know of the railway, right? And I know he's definitely doing other things because Lagos is the biggest economy in Nigeria. I would think so. Yeah, Lagos definitely. No, it's not even an argument. Lagos is the biggest economy. If you come out oil money from Bayelsa, Rivers, and Delta, Lagos is the biggest economy in Nigeria. And Lagos doesn't receive oil money. Lagos is like the third when it comes to money, something like that. But it's just because of the oil revenue coming from Bayelsa, Rivers, and Delta. But compare Lagos to those three states. Compare Lagos State to those three states. Bayelsa, Delta, and Rivers State. Compare Lagos to them. They collect more money from the federal government. They collect more money from the federal government every month. But compare them to Lagos. So why wouldn't we say, if somehow now Lagos people know how to do leadership. Let them lead the country and take the country where the country needs to be. This is just a very open-ended argument, right? But I'm just saying, if Lagos is doing something correctly, the governors of Lagos consistently are doing something correctly, why shouldn't we be picking them every time to carry us come off from the place where we did? I'm just saying, hey, but these would be my arguments when Mr. K joins today, and I'm very interested too to hear Mr. K's argument too. I have about 8 arguments. I wrote them down. I'm waiting for him to come. We'll go through them one by one. I go talk my own. We talk about them. So it's gonna be a good show. So please feel free to be here, and I thank you guys for joining. It's gonna be definitely a good show. Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours stops, and we'll call it a day. But we're definitely gonna have a good show today. I appreciate you guys for being here. Make I read some chats here while I wait for my brother, Mr. K. I know I sent him a DM. He hasn't responded. Hopefully he comes here in another 20 minutes because we plan to be here by 12 midnight Nigerian time. So hopefully he's here. I'm a little bit too early. I'm a little bit too early. I'm 30 minutes early, but that's just me, right? That's just me. But anyway, make me read the chat a little bit. God bless you, bro. Lagos is moving. Olara Man, thank you for joining. Olara Man, appreciate it. Ezemoto, say, Kachi, you're not intelligent at all. Come here and make we talk. Let's talk about it. Come here, I have about 8 arguments. Come and debate me and show me your intelligence. Let us weigh your IQ. Let us balance your IQ. Let us compare IQ. Mr. Ezemotos, join. Let us balance out your IQ. Join. Request. Press the request button. It's somewhere there on your screen. Press it and come. Let's talk about it. Anyway, the multi-ethnic nature of this is Silver Surfer, says the multi-ethnic nature of the entity requires balance to prevent the entity from disintegrating. I hear you, and this is a very good argument, by the way. I hear you on that. However, and also this is even the reason why Nigeria somewhat has this unwritten agreement, because it's not constitutional, right? This is the reason why we somewhat have this unwritten agreement, right? To balance out everything. After independence, so that one tribe no go, they overshadow the other tribes within the country. Definitely a good idea. We are past independence. We are past the Civil War. We are past all the first, second, the 100th Republic. We are past all of that. We need Nigeria to progress. I believe every Nigerian would agree that we need Nigeria to progress. Forget that ideology. I don't know of any country that works like this. Oh, let this out do, then they not do. And I'm not saying that the North is anywhere is bereft of intellect, not even intellectuals, leaders that have the capacity. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. But my argument is, anywhere that person from, let us vote for that person. Let us choose a leader based on what is inside the person's head. What based on what the person has done. Just imagine Buhari. Buhari set us back 1,000 years. Buhari set us back 1,000 years. That man was our president for 8 years. That man set us back 1,000 years, man. This man go sell our oil. Future. He sell our oil. Like, I don't know the English now. But he sold ahead. Ahead. He sell our oil ahead. I don't even know what the deal was in that selling oil. Maybe he sell them at the rate of that day. I don't think that guy was even smart enough to even sell it at, if the thing, like right now, crude oil is a little bit expensive, more expensive, right? I don't believe that guy even sold it like, let it be flexible, depending on the day. That's what it's going to cost. So that we'll go pay down the loan faster. This motherfucker sold our oil. Just carry oil, give whoever and give him. That guy set us back. Just imagine. What is Tinubu's not Tinubu that always enter my mouth. What is Buhari's antecedents? What can be the things we don't do before? What were his antecedents? Before we then select them for us. Say, from the north. Before Tinubu select them for us. Right? From the north. Is the north done? What did Buhari do before? Buhari was a military head of state. The only thing he was remembered for was war against indiscipline. How far did that get us? How far did war against indiscipline get us? I don't know of any other policies. And he was a petroleum minister when he was head of state. right? In maybe 1984, right? He was the petroleum minister at the time when he was military head of state. This man did not do anything positive for us. Instead, there was a scandal then too about him being petrol. There's literally nothing that why Tinubu didn't enter my mouth? Buhari, there was literally nothing that Buhari had before becoming our president. Imagine who we go pick because it's the North Stone. Were there no other people in the North, even if not like that? Were there no other people? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But anyway, I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Make I drink some water. So, Mr. Silver Surfer, yeah, that's my response to your question. Hunter Ade Grills. He says, Lagos is sinking. It stinks and it's overrated. Hey, I'm not here to promote Lagos, Mr. Hunter. I'm not here to promote Lagos, whether Lagos stinks or not. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm just saying, the Lagos State governor, the current one, he gets what they do correctly. I'm not saying they don't have faults. And on a very good day too, I go follow you, I go agree with you on this, right? But that is not my argument for today. I'm saying the current Lagos State governor, he has a policy wherein they follow. He's, transforming Lagos to become a modern city or modern state. This rail line that this man is doing, I don't see it any other place in the country. I don't see it. And hey, I know someone is going to come here. Is it by railway? I'm just saying. Even Amechi started a monorail project in Port Harcourt. We can abandon them. They do fly over up and down, right? I'm just saying. But hey, on Hunter Ade, thank you for being here. TJ Baba, well done, bro. You're doing well. Thank you, TJ. Balance has to be created. Absolutely. Mr. Silva, I agree with you again. Balance definitely has to be created. However, at what cost are we balancing this balance? At what cost? Because we want to balance, we're going to vote another Buhari. We're going to have another Buhari. Yeah? Because we want to balance, should we, because of balance, go and have another Buhari? You get the point, Mr. Silva? I don't know if you get the point, but because of this balance, at what cost should we do this balance? Should we have this balance? At what cost? The youth need to move away because we don't win. The elites win. The politicians win. We don't win. But when we keep making these excuses for these elites, for these politicians, they keep winning. If the next election cycle, now two people from South, and we know that these two people are competent, why are we talking about North Turn or South Turn? Why are we talking about that? No. Let us support these people. Then make those people go carry their case, their matter. Make them carry their matter, go North, so that North go vote for them as well. But, yo. Anyway, let's keep liking, get to 5K likes. We are 875 likes right now. Let's keep liking and get to 5K likes. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you. Now, Mr. K, we wait for now. Mr. K, our number one debater. Now, we wait for. Make him come. Let us hear his arguments. I have 8 of them. I have 8 of these arguments. I want to hear Mr. K's arguments. So I'm waiting for Mr. K. Mr. K, we're waiting for you. The crowd is waiting for you. The crowd is waiting for you. The room is waiting for you, Mr. K. Anyway, we have Mr. Bam Bam requesting. Mr. Bam Bam, we'll just continue the like in the moment. I'll bring you up, but please just mute yourself in the time being. Make we get more people here. All right, think right. Don't catch me again. This seaport. Now, last week I been saying we go do this seaport. Now the contractors are delaying. Think right. Think right. Don't catch me again. No, this seaport. What are we going to do with this seaport? What are we going to do? Contractors, don't worry. I need to call the contractors after this show. I'll see how far they've gone. They've started buying the pure water. But Mr. Bam Bam, please mute yourself. I thank you for joining. But I thank you for joining. But make we get 5K likes before we, begin the conversation. Unless Mr. K comes in early, then we'll get into it. But I appreciate you for joining. Thank you, Mr. Bam Bam. Also, I see some people gifting me here. Think right. Thank you so much for the heart. I appreciate it. Moko Freelance, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate it. And Limehouse, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's keep liking and sharing and get more people here to join the conversation. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Let us keep liking and sharing and get more people here to join the conversation. We have a debate today. We're going to have a good show. This is not one-on-one debate. It's not like it's not like my regular debate where, I have contenders. This one, one-on-one, me and another person debating. I don't know if Mr. Bam Bam wants to debate me, but we'll get to find out in a moment and go from there. In the meantime, make I continue to read chats. Biapalo, NMPC as well established that time. I don't know what time you're referring to. Are you referring to 1984 that NMPC was established? I don't know. I don't know the timeline of NMPC being established either. But I can also argue that the NMPC, how far? Nobi Baba Tinubu now go what do they call them? Like cancel their debt. Debt with these people, they're a company. They're supposed to be operating as a business, but every year then they make loss. Every year then they make loss. No profit, nothing. They have refineries, at least 3 refineries. I know. One for Port Harcourt, one for Warrior, maybe one for Kaduna, right? Right? They have 3 refineries. I know at least. And should we even be bringing an NPC? Hey man. Listen, Nosa Locks here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Make we continue to like and share and get more people to join the conversation, and then we go from there. Now, Mr. K, our special guest of honor today. Hopefully he remembers, because we talked about it on Tuesday. We planned yesterday, and then we agreed on time yesterday. So handshake. We did a virtual handshake, and he said he's going to be here. So we're gonna be expecting him. But in the meantime, we're at 1,005 likes. Let's keep liking and sharing and get more people here to join the conversation. Just so I don't bore you guys with my monologue, I could just begin the conversation with this is not going to be a conversation per se. It's going to be a debate. I'm going to begin the debate that if Mr. Bam Bam is here to debate, then we go from there. But anyway, Mr. Bam Bam, if you want to unmute yourself, please let us have a debate if that's what you're here for. Otherwise, we'll not go fit continue with you. Now, debate we won't do today.
Celebrity Bama.
I greet you, Mr. Bam Bam. Mr. Bam Bam, yeah. Thank you for joining.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe I should stand in for Mr. K Penny's time he shows
okay.
up.
Okay. Yeah, that means you have to have some arguments then. What is your argument? I'm of the opinion that the turn-by-turn politics in Nigeria is not helping our progress.
I disagree.
Okay. I'll give you one, right?
Okay.
I'll give you one of my points here, and these are the same points where I go use with Mr. K when he comes, right? The rotation thing, it was adopted during or after independence. That's when it was adopted, to ensure fairness, right? So that one tribe no go overshadow the rest of the tribes, right? That's why it was adopted. Yeah. And it's not a bad idea, but in my opinion, right? In my opinion, we have gone past that stage of independence. We've gone past that stage of First Republic, Second Republic, and all the other republics. We've gone past the Civil War. Right now, you would agree with me that every Nigerian needs or wants Nigeria to progress. This rotation is not helping the progress. And I've given a case of Buhari, who was our last president. This man took us back. I don't know whether you agree with that, but in my opinion, he took us back. So how is this, in your opinion, or what's your argument on that?
Thank you. First and foremost, I disagree with your point that every Nigerian wants Nigeria to move forward. You see, when I see the topic, I sincerely said, if every Nigerian could think the way you think or the way I would think, it would be better. There are some facts we don't need to run away from in Nigeria. What are those facts? First, we are not the same. Nigerians are not the same. We are forced to be together. Our culture, our value, the system, and religions are not the same. So, and when you have people with different value, culture, and everything, in some cases, there will be clashes. And when my view is different from your own view, and I have different view entirely. Take, for example, South, generally, we believe in education in South. We believe so much in education, industrialization. You can check the history of Nigeria. Why in the North, they believe so much in power. Do you understand? Now,
I understand, but hopefully you understand that, you know, we're not here to give a history of Nigeria. We want to know why this turn-by-turn politics is helping or not helping us. That's not,
so
yeah, if you want to keep it on that.
Why it is helping, yes, one of the reasons why it's helping us is it will allow the government, which is the federal government, to allow everybody to bring his own view to the table. So you are not going to impose your own view on me. You are not going to impose your own cultural value on me. You are not going to impose your own religions on me. And one of the reasons why I support the turn-by-turn government in Nigeria.
So I think you're misunderstanding this. I'm talking about the president specifically. I'm not talking about in terms of appointments or people around the government. I'm talking about the presidency. Who's the number one person? I don't understand how the argument you just made. I don't understand how it's going to, like, if a southern person is like right now, Tinubu is the president. How is he imposing his views on every other person? How is he imposing his maybe religion or whatever on every other person?
I'm going to give you an instance.
Okay.
Now, you see, in the system of government that we have, if we decide that we don't need to rotate this presidency, okay, I want to give you two instances.
Okay.
When President Tinubu came in, one of the two things he did is to say, okay, we are going to decentralize how we recruit into our armed forces in Nigeria. For the past, it has been in one place. But now you can see we have one in Abakaliki, we have one in Southwest. Now, what am I saying is, if we had not have somebody like him, do you understand? We will not, nobody will have think that, okay, something like this will actually help.
Yeah, still, I'm still not understanding where you're going with that point. But again, I'm just pushing back on it because I don't know how this policy.
I don't know how I can put those words together so that I will not mention his name.
Yeah, this policy. Just one second. This policy you put out now, it's a good policy. But how does that help, like, on the bigger scale of things, right? I mean, any president can come and do this, right? Any president can do what this thing that you said Tinubu did. It doesn't matter where the person comes from. It doesn't matter if the person is from the north or south. Anybody can decentralize this power.
You know when I start my view, I said I disagree. I will not agree that any president can do it. Not every president will do it.
So you're saying a president from the north, for instance, wouldn't do it. Is that what you're saying? Even if it's in the best interest of Nigeria?
Yes, they wouldn't. That's why I said if every our mind is the same direction, that we want Nigeria to grow, that is why you can be speaking that every president can do it. But I can bet it with you.
Let me play devil's advocate, and I agree with you. If this is in the best interest of Nigeria, and unilaterally Nigerians agree, so, and you're saying it's only, let me agree with you that it's only somebody from the south or southwest specifically, because that's where Tinubu is from, somebody from the southwest that could have done it. If not only people from southwest are great leaders, according to your argument, sort of, why shouldn't we always bring somebody from Southwest to be our leader so that they're going to put all these policies in place? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Why should we now rotate it next time? Why should we now rotate it next time, knowing that the next place it's coming from, they may not have a good leader coming from that side? Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes. The reason why it will not be so is because what I said earlier, that we have different view, that we are not the same thing. If we should decide. Now, the point I'm making, like, somebody from somewhere not really south is the best, and we should leave that person there. No, that our view, that we feel that the person from the south is the best, might not be the view of the people from upper area. They will feel like what he's doing is against their view, is against what they believe totally.
I agree
so
with
in
you.
that sense,
I agree with you.
They will never believe that is the best.
And again, still, why shouldn't we in the South, if we all agree that this person is the best person for the job, why shouldn't we vote for that person, support that person, and then let the person take his or her case to the North and go and argue with them there and say, this is the thing that I have for you guys. Make una support me, make una support me. Why shouldn't that be the case? Or let the Northern people also field whoever it is they want to field, and let that person come to the South as well and come and, negotiate with us and say, these are the things that I have on the table for Nigeria to move Nigeria forward. Why should we make it about turns? I don't know if that makes sense to you.
I agree with you. Yes, it makes sense to me, and I agree with you on that. But the only reason why I feel it's not going to be possible, it is the way how politics is being played all over the world.
That's not true. Politics is not played. Politics is not played by geography. I don't, unless you can tell me, then I'll learn a new thing today. I don't know any other place that they use geography to pick leaders. Like they say, oh, this person is from the West, or this person is from the South.
I'm not saying about using. I'm not saying about using geography to pick a leader. I'm saying about interest. I'm talking about interest.
But we're not talking about interest today. We're talking about geography, turn by turn, North and South. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about interest.
Yes, I know. You are saying, why is it that we cannot unilaterally support one candidate in the South and same thing in the North? So you take your argument to both sides to go and argue your chance with them. Now I'm saying that will not be possible because politics has made it possible for people to find loopholes. They see it, they want to dominate. For you to impose your wills on me, you have to have power. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Not necessarily. I think you're definitely steering off this topic. And, again, I'm not limiting this to like the South, right? I'm also saying, if the best leaders are coming from the North, why shouldn't we always be voting those people from the North? That's all I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying the South has best leaders, the North doesn't. That's not what I'm saying.
What I'm saying that you're not getting is that if the best leader come from the North, the people in the South will never see such person as a best candidate, purposely because from the onset of Nigeria as a company, we are not meant to be together. We are different entities. And in that breath, there is nothing anybody can do.
That is not true. That is not true. Nigeria is a tribal country. Absolutely. If that's what you're trying to say. Nigeria is very tribal. Mr. Jacon, please don't unmute yourself. We'll get to you in a moment, please. Nigeria is a tribal country, no doubt about that. But most people will identify as I be Igbo, I be Yoruba, I be Hausa before they would even say I be Nigerian. That's for sure, right? However, if we, the people, do not see the problem with this arrangement of North and South, because if there is already a North and South arrangement, that means it has already been selected for us. The next person that is going to be a president has already been chosen. We have nothing to do with that. If we cannot, if everybody, Nigerians, regardless of where you're from, cannot come out and say, Kachi, I'm Kachi, my name is Kachi, I'm from the East, I'm Nigerian, forget about where I'm from Nigeria. I'm laying my claim, I want to be the next president of Nigeria. If we continue to say, oh no, it's not your turn, you need to wait, let the North do first, I don't see any progress with that. But if you want to give us your final thoughts on this, I don't think, give us your final thoughts so that we'll go move forward.
Okay, I agree with you. But I want to refer you back to a video of Amadou Bello. I don't know if you have watched that video. He states it categorically and expressly how and why we are different totally.
I mean, that's one man's opinion. Amadou Bello is not a god. Even if he's a god, I know even they're religious, right? It's his opinion.
When I start my argument, I told you that if our minds, everybody's minds, is the same way like you, then it will make it easier. But if you are going to do a sample opinion of what I just said to you, then you will discover that what Amadou Bello said is the general view.
That's not true. That's not true. Amadou Bello, and I respect him, but that's his opinion.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's his opinion. I also believe it's outdated. We have a new generation of Nigerians. These young Nigerians, they don't know who Amadou Bello is. So whatever his opinion was, then he made that statement. It's outdated. All respect to him, but it's outdated.
On this topic, I agree with you. I will stop it. I know one day we will discuss politics, so we will allow to expatiate. Then that I will explain things to you. Then you will now understand.
Fair enough, Mr. Bamba.
On this topic, thank you so much.
Fair enough, Mr. Bamba. And I appreciate you for joining and sharing your thoughts on that. I appreciate you. And this one no be thoughts per se, not debate. Now we'll come do here today. But thank you, Mr. Bam Bam. We're gonna drop you at this point so that we can bring more people up here. Mr. K, we still wait for Mr. K. Now, Mr. K prompt this show today. Shout out to Mr. K. Shout out to Mr. K. We still wait time. I don't know. Oh shoot. I don't click. I hope I didn't mess it up. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. This is a debate today. If you see the top, there's a badge at the top. It says debate me. So it's not we're not going to have a conversation. It's going to be a conversation, but yes, it's going to be a conversation, but it's more of a debate. Let's talk about it and go back and forth on it. Anyway, let's see. Mr. J-Con. Oh, shoot. I believe I dropped Mr. J-Con by mistake. If you want to request again, Mr. J-Con, if you can hear me in the chat, we can bring you back up. Sorry about that. My quick fingers my big thumb don't go press disconnect. I apologize for that. Anyway, oh shoot, see me, I won't go at the talk of the one I do. I won't go disconnect another person. I'm sorry about that. Mr. Savi, if you want to unmute yourself, please, let's talk about it.
Okay, thank you very much. The turn-by-turn politics in Nigeria, when it comes to presidential elections,
yes, specifically that.
Yes, it's a failure.
All right, Mr. Savi, you agreeing with me? We'll not go fit continue with you. I need somebody that is not agreeing with me. So, but I appreciate you, my brother, for joining. You know, saying that we. But you're agreeing with me on this. I need people who disagree with me that the turn-by-turn is something that they like, so that we can debate on that. But thank you, Mr. Savi.
Yes,
appreciate it.
But I wanted to establish why I also prefer turn-by-turn.
All right, let's hear it then. Maybe we can debate on that.
Thank you. I prefer turn-by-turn, but we should make it zones. We have 6 geopolitical zones today, not regions. So we should focus to say, okay, if we are rotating it, we should rotate it based on these zones. If it's going to the southeast, whatever party they are bringing, all the candidates must come from that zone. It's less for Nigerians to vote in the best person who they feel is the best qualified.
I think even this idea even makes it even more complicated, right? Because the 2 zones already is causing, in my opinion, is causing a lot of issues, right? Again, I don't know how long you've been here, but I made an example of Sanwo-Olu and Oti. Sanwo-Olu and Oti, in my opinion, are the 2 best performing governors right now in Nigeria, right? Let's say the next election cycle, they say, we want to become president, vice and president, whoever, regardless of in which order, right? I want to be vice and president. Let's do this. But now, because of this same zone you're talking about, we talk about the north and south zone, right? At least the north and south zone, after 8 years, you're almost certain that, he's going to come back to the other place. If it's not, he will come back to south. But the zone own now, like, it would take what? 8 times 6 is 24. 24 years before he comes back to another. Do you see how complicated that even gets? 8 times 6 is not 24. 8 times 6 is what? My math don't feel me. 8 times 5 is 40, so 48. 48 years. 48 years.
I want to explain it to you, Kashi. Like, we have 4 years tenure, not 8 years tenures. So the rotation should be based on 4 years. If you are done with your 4 years, we pick the best of the best from the other regions. Because if you make it north and then south, today the reality is that the rotation within the north and south is southwest and then northwest, basically, or maybe northeast somehow. And if you look at it that way, we have minorities in tribes. We have tribes that have not been represented, even within the zones.
But why should we be picking leaders based on tribes and people that have not been represented? Why shouldn't we be picking leaders based on competency? And I'm not saying that these tribes that are not represented, I'm not saying that they're not competent. I'm just saying, why should we be thinking about tribes, instead of competency? Waiting this person don't do before. Those things. Why should it be about tribes?
Okay, Kashi, I would just like to say that, first of all, I am in the APC, And then whenever we have conversation, I come across some people from other regions who will tell me whether I'm in the APC or not, he will never vote an Igbo man to be president. They say it openly; they're not hiding it.
Okay.
So even if I'm supporting
do you know that Peter Obi got 6 million votes in the last election?
Yes.
So when people say things like this, it's their opinion. It's that person's opinion. When it comes to elections, your opinion doesn't matter again. Now your votes now matter.
Yes.
The last election, Peter Obi got 6 million votes. Yeah, is it Southeast people that gave him 6? Is it Igbo people that gave him 6 million votes?
Not at all.
So you see that person's opinion is not even valid. It's very flawed.
Yes, I wanted to explain this to tell you that look, despite that Obi got whatever vote he got earlier or before, people are kind of more prone to, reserving the region or reserving themselves somehow more than you say it then.
And it's because of we now Nigerians, we keep reinforcing and making these kind of statements like, oh, it should be the regions, it should not be competency, it should be the tribes. Some tribes have not been president. When we should be reinforcing anywhere we go. If we start having these kind of debates and people being pushed out there, I believe it's going to change the narrative somewhat, in my opinion. But if we are all around talking about, oh, Igbo man, oh, Yoruba man, oh, Northern man, we're not going anywhere.
Yes, at least I'm in the opposite of you now. I believe that each of tenors, in every 4 years, we must have competent leaders from any zone, whatever zone they are bringing them from.
Again, that argument is flawed because the 4 years, it's constitutional for 2 terms. You cannot make somebody who's already president, you cannot tell him not to contest for the next one. So that argument is not necessarily, it's flawed.
As we're having this discussion, look, Atiku Abubakar, if you look at the latest interview, he said that he opposed the proposed, is it 4 years or 6 years, tenure rotating within the zones. And if he becomes the president, he must make sure that each zone must become president. If he rotates to the zone.
I wouldn't vote for Atiku. I wouldn't vote for Atiku because, again, he's reinforcing tribalism. He's reinforcing tribalism.
That is his proposal. But if you don't do it, it might take some zones more than decades for them to even,
But you're still of the opinion that some zones need to be president.
No. Yes.
We don't need, if now Yoruba people be the smartest leaders, let us be voting Yoruba people. We don't need any, why are we still, you're saying it will take some zones. Forget about the zones. We need people who go carry Nigeria, go forward. That's what we need, not zones.
That is true, Kashi, but in Africa, especially in Nigeria, we still have this sentiment.
It is not true. It is not true. Have you had conversations with young people?
It will be very difficult for you to take it away.
That is not correct. I disagree.
Extremely difficult. No, extremely difficult.
I disagree.
Extremely difficult.
I disagree. That again, I'll say it. That's your opinion.
Because we live in the West.
No, that's your opinion.
In the West perspective. I'm telling you
that's your opinion.
It's extremely difficult for you to take that sentiment away.
Absolutely, that's your opinion. That means you're invariably saying that Nigeria will never progress because if this is the idea of all, if according to you, all Nigerians, then Nigeria is never going to move forward. Then because the next time now they go bring another Buhari, tell us say it's that person's turn, right? They'll give us another Buhari.
Progress based on region. In summary, I think we'll progress based on this collective interest because we kind of have diverse values, diverse values. So it will be difficult for you to have this collective oneness you're talking about.
I don't think we can progress based on regions. I don't think we can progress as Nigerians based on regions. I'm just trying to say that
we have diverse values. So the other person will always want to be represented somehow. If he's not being represented, he will feel as if, I'm not fully accepted into this.
With this your argument, right? There are some tribes that will never, because Nigeria has over 200 tribes. There are some tribes that will never be president.
Yes.
So why does it even make sense to still keep trying to dig deep? Why does it still make sense to keep trying to dig deep?
Because the government made us to have zones. These zones is for us to have
those zones are not constitutional. Those zones are just they don't exist in the constitution.
It is for administrative purposes. Now, if you have these zones now, the interests of the minority tribes within the zones will be captured. But if you just try to preach this oneness,
this person just breathe. I don't know why you breathing. Like mute yourself, and I can't even see his name.
In summary, what I'm saying is that I don't believe that, to be honest with you, in politics, it is fair to have rotation, but in Nigerian perspective, the way we have it, the best way for us to do it is, if we have proposal for 4 years, that 4 years, if it is Southwest, you bring all the parties, all of them will contest presidential from Southwest.
Yeah.
It is less for Nigeria now to vote for the best person within that zone or within that region to govern.
I don't know.
So that is my own.
Yeah, and I hear you, but I definitely still disagree with the argument. I disagree. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Savvy. Appreciate you for joining.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. We'll drop you at this point so that we'll go bring other people up here. Let's read some chats and then keep it moving. All right. Galvani Martino. He said, host, you have fish brain. Bring your tiger brain and come here now. Request. Bring your tiger brain. Let's talk about it. Galvani, you will get tiger brain or bird brain. You will get bird brain, chicken brain. Bring that chicken brain here. Let's talk about it. These people that I brought up, please, can you mute yourself? I can't see your name, so please mute yourself. We'll get to you in a moment. I don't know if it's my network or something, but something is definitely...
Is it my turn to speak?
No, please mute yourself. We'll get to you in a moment, please. All right, I think Jaycon. Jaycon, are you here? If you're here, please unmute yourself. I don't know. My thing is tripping. My app is tripping. Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me a second there. My app is tripping, and I can't see the names. I don't see the names of the people that are on my stage. So make una bear with me. We're gonna keep saying something went wrong. I don't know what's going wrong. But Mr. Jaycon, just give me 1 second. Make we read some of the chats from Facebook. Facebook, Adeleke Joseph says, it prevents war. If we have only one region ruling, it's a matter of time for everything to burn down. Hey, I don't know, man. This mindset, it'd be like me be the odd man out, though, because I don't know, man. What do you mean it prevents war? Or if only one tribe, if only one region? I mean, if that region, if that person, forget the region, if that person or specific people that are ruling are making sure that Nigeria is progressing, where do you think the war will come from? If the price of fuel is good, right now, price of fuel is crazy. If one person from a specific region comes and brings the price of fuel down, everybody, what do they call them now? GDP, not GDP per se, but the average GDP of everybody. The average Nigerian, they make, let's say, 20 million naira per annum. What they call that GDP? GDP per capita. GDP per capita. If the GDP per capita, hey man, if the GDP per capita is 20 million naira, if the GDP per capita is 20 million naira, that's from this same person. You don't bring price of fuel. There are good roads. There are no corruption. You're telling me that there is going to be war. Like this kind of thinking, it sets us back. You're telling me that if somebody from somewhere in Nigeria, takes the GDP per capita to 20 million, right? I hope you guys understand what that means, right? GDP per capita is 20 million naira. Price of fuel is very normal, very okay. Dollar to naira is very good. You're telling me there's going to be war? Are you kidding me? What kind of mindset is that? Yo, man, we need to move away from this. We need to move away from this. Anyway, Rema Integral from Facebook says, what can you achieve in 4 years? You guys should feel good. Anyway, Olusegun Michael says, I've been listening to you for a while. I must say, thank you, Mr. Olusegun Michael. Appreciate it. Be encouraged and not discouraged. Bamidele, thank you. Appreciate it. Bamidele on Facebook. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's see TikTok guests. Let's see what's going on here. Dapo says people are still going to complain. I mean, let them complain, but when you say there is going to be war, that's outrageous. Absolutely. There is no time that human beings no go complain. Now, for economics that time, they tell us that human wants are insatiable. There is never a time human beings are not going to complain. But talking about there will be a war, nah, that's a little bit outrageous. But anyway, Mr. Jaycon, if you want to unmute yourself, let's hear your thoughts on this.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I think before I touch on the topic at hand, I need to dispel this notion that most Nigerians you engage with always say, because it's a very lazy way to look at things.
All right.
Always saying,
make we no vex, Mr. Jaycon. Let's stick to topic and go from there.
What I'm saying is still related to the topic.
All right.
This notion that we are not one, we cannot work. That is a very lazy way of seeing things.
I agree with
Nigeria
you.
is not Nigeria is not the only country that has different tribes. Ethiopia, for example, has the same, is mirror image of Nigeria. Ghana, for example, they are not the same tribes. So whenever we Nigeria come, we act as if we are special. Nigeria is a special case.
Yeah.
All colonized countries are the
Ethiopia
same.
wasn't colonized though, but I get the point.
They are not colonized, but somehow they were colonized because the main Ethiopia colonized some of them. The Amhara, they are not the same. So let's just dispel that assertion.
All right. But again, we're not here to dispel. Nami and you want debate. So let's leave the waiting other people talk. Let's argue or debate on this. Turn by turn politics, in my own opinion, is not taking Nigeria anywhere. We're not having any progress with that.
So my position on that is, ideally, presidency or leadership should be based on competence. We shouldn't mind where we come from.
Okay.
That is ideal in an ideal situation, but at the level Nigeria is at, and the political reality in Nigeria, I think the way it's structured currently is still the best way. It's just that
all right,
Mr.
Jacon, because I'm trying to have a debate here, right? I don't want just, I'm not going to just sit here and hear you talk, right? It seems like you're agreeing with me on what I said, that we're not having any progress, or we're not going to make any progress with the turn by turn politics. Is that your stand, or you're on the other side?
No, my stand is, I say, ideally, in a normal circumstance, I agree with your position, but the political reality of our society.
All right, I'm gonna take the ideal one, because I'm trying to have a debate. I'm not here to hear your submission or your thoughts on it. I want to have a debate on somebody who's
debate is not a yes or no answer. What I'm trying to tell you,
but you need to pick a side. You need to pick a side so that we can debate, Mr. Jacon. I don't want to have a lot of back and forth on this.
Man, let me put it this way: in an ideal world.
What side are you on? Let me see if I can debate you. Let me make it simple.
In Nigerian political situation, I'm on the side of rotational.
All right. Why do you think that's good for Nigeria? Why do you think it's going to make Nigeria progress?
You see why I say so? I say because of the political reality.
Right. Mr. Jacon, unfortunately, we're not going to fit get it because you're on the same side with me. Let's just keep the conversation moving.
I'm just saying with you.
But you don't seem to want to have an argument. I'm here to have an argument. But you agree with me, and you're still like. But it's okay, though. I appreciate you for joining.
I didn't agree with you. I said the political reality is that because of the political reality.
All right, Mr. Jacon, we'll have to move forward, unfortunately. But thank you for joining. I appreciate you. All right, thank you for joining. I appreciate you.
Do you allow me to talk?
No, we're not allowing you to do. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm here to have a debate. It's written there. Debate me. It's written there. Debate me. I'm not here for you to agree with me. I want you to disagree so that we can debate it. Why you think it's good, why you don't think it's good. That's what we want to do. I don't want to hear your submission on. I don't want to hear that submission. I want to debate. Anyway, let's keep the conversation going here. I think I bring up this. I don't know. My app is tweaking, so I can't see the people that are requesting. I need to see their names, but when I go, bear with me in a moment. Let me see if I can refresh this, and so that I can bring it up. Let me see. Make una just bear with me there for 1 second. I think it's. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. We'll get to you in a moment. All right. I think the next person here would be the person with the name starting with A. If your name starts with A, because I can't see your name, right? Sorry about that.
My name is Abraham.
Abraham. All right.
Okay.
All right. If you're not Abraham, please mute yourself so that we won't have echoes, please.
Yeah, my name is Abraham.
Yeah, if you're not Abraham, please mute yourself so I don't drop you, so that we don't have echoes. If your name is not Abraham, because I can't see the names.
Can I go on now?
Just give me 1 second. Make I coordinate the room, Mr. Abraham. If your name is not Abraham, please mute yourself, please. All right, I go drop this user because I can't see his name and I'm referring to him, but he's not complying. So make I drop this person. All right. All right, Mr. Abraham, just give me 1 second. Mr. Jacon. Mr. Jacon says you definitely have comprehension problem. All right, thank you. Thank you, I do. Thank you very much. I have comprehension problem. The title, the tagline there is clearly written, debate me. And you want to come here and pretty much allow me to what are you talking about? I'm trying to have a debate. I'm telling you, I'm actively telling you I want to debate you, and you keep going in circles and we're making the show boring and you want me to keep going with you. Come on now. I agree with you. I have a comprehension problem. Thank you so much. Anyway, let's go, Mr. Abraham. Let us hear you. I hope you are on the other side because that debate I won't do. I'm of the opinion that the turn-by-turn politics in Nigeria is not working. It's not helping us.
All right. I think for me, like you said, it's a debate.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to lean at the other side.
Okay.
Right?
Otherwise, we can't continue. We have to go to the next person.
Yeah,
but I appreciate you.
Not because I believe in it, but I'm just going to be the devil's advocate.
Fair
so
enough.
that we can have a conversation.
I'm glad you understand it clearly. Mr. Jacon somehow couldn't understand that. Pick a side. Let us debate. You're playing devil's advocate. I can work with that. He didn't want to pick a side. He wants to be here and here. And you want me to continue going in circles with you. Come on now. Anyway, thank you, my brother, Mr. Abraham. Let's go for it. My first argument, anyway, would be, the turn-by-turn politics. It was adopted after independence, right? To make sure that there's equity, fairness, and stabilization, right? But it was made for stabilization. It wasn't made to develop Nigeria. And this stabilization is not taking us anywhere. What are your thoughts on that?
For me, it's more about the engineers of the whole ideas. There is no concept and thought that is actually not right. Except if you ground it properly, you are going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. First, we need to understand, you said something some few minutes ago, that Nigeria is well about 250 ethnic groups. And some people actually said in this same context that Nigeria can be likened to the lives of Kenya and all. I said no. Nigeria is actually different.
Okay.
In so many ways. Land, language. We have over 500 ethnic languages. And we know from inception, even right from inception, from independence, there's the division that the British has actually created in the mindset of people that happens to be Nigerian citizens. But the truth of the matter is, if we have to make headway in Nigeria, we have to find a way to rotate governance. The reason why is, if you take into context what happened during the Biafra War, we know Nigeria is not about the Igbos alone. There is Biafra War. There has been serious Kaduna War. There are so many things that have happened in Nigeria so many years back. Even when they killed the Ogoni people, the oil, and so many other things has happened in Nigeria. And a lot of people has actually been left out. Then if you have people like Nigeria, there are different people and there are different ways that people think. You cannot compare Nigeria to China. China is doing very well because even if they have currently a dictator, but they like their dictator because their dictator is doing the right thing. But no Nigeria was actually ascribed to a country being locked down for several years before they can get it right. No, Nigerians don't have that kind of patience.
Okay.
Nigeria is.
Let me start with the dictator doing something right and they love them. And I made this same argument with Mr. Savi, I believe. Our context is not a dictator, but if there is somebody from a specific region that can bring the cost of fuel down, that can bring the value of naira to dollar, bring it to a very reasonable level, right? Bring the GDP per capita, right? GDP per capita. If that person can bring it to 20 million naira, you're telling me that Nigerians are not going to love that person. Is that Nigeria your argument as well?
No. The issue is not about love. The concept here is about ideology and citizenship and where you belong and tribalism. So if you look at those three concepts, you're beginning to understand that love is not enough. They will love you. They will like you. You are doing the right thing. But they will tell you to use that particular time you have there. They will tell you there are some other people that can do it much more better. And just because of what we have over the years, this killing, this fighting within ourselves, I'm not even talking about the recent ones. We've had different tribal wars in Nigeria.
But
that actually have left room.
doesn't the rotation actually reinforce the tribalism? Doesn't it actually reinforce tribalism?
No, it won't enforce tribalism if you actually sit down. See what we.
Let me tell you why I think it would reinforce tribalism, right? Because there are some tribes, and you would agree with me. We have over 200 tribes in Nigeria. There are some tribes that we will never become president. So those other tribes that they know they will never become they will never bring somebody to be president, right? Don't you think that it makes them feel a type of way when they're talking about just North and South?
They won't. They will in some way. But if you know Nigeria originally, Nigeria is actually divided into 3 tribes, major 3 tribes.
Okay.
All the other tribes are there. Those are the 3 dominating tribes.
Don't they matter?
And
the other tribes, don't they matter?
No, they do matter.
Okay.
No, you understand what I'm trying to say. They do matter in the line of things. Do you understand? But those 3 major tribes have always been in control. And if you look at the Nigerian politicking today, you begin to understand the fact that those 3 tribes are even the loudest. If the Igbos doesn't talk, the Hausas will talk. If the Hausas doesn't talk, the Yorubas will talk. They hold the majority share of the activities, of the numbers of what's going on in Nigeria. Now, the other tribes too are talking. You understand?
Yeah.
But they don't have that rich platform to talk the way they want to talk.
I
That
think
is why you see
talking
what's
about
going
platform.
on.
There are platforms like TikTok right now. I could be from any tribe and hosting this show and talking about it, and there's going to be a diverse audience here, right? That could happen. But again, I just believe that the turn-by-turn politics, it reinforces tribalism because, again, there are over 200 tribes in Nigeria. Some of them they know they will never become president. The German Goodluck Jonathan that became president, he did it for 4 years, right? And there would probably not be another Ijaw man in God knows how long, right? And Ijaw is somewhat of a big ethnic group when it comes to the South, right? But there are smaller ethnic groups, like Ikwere, for instance, that is just found in River State, right? There might never be an Ikwere president. Don't you think the Ikwere man is looking and saying, these people, they just the sideline us, not only Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba they focus on. What about us? Don't we matter?
I understand that fact, but you see, there's something we need to do that will make that particular rotation of presidency come to life. One thing, and we have failed to do that. Even when we are going to the other way, if you want to go by the way of anybody and all that, it's still the same thing we need to do. We need to sit down and hold a conference. If we sit down and hold a constitutional conference, that this is our country, we know we have this problem. We have these numbers of tribe. How do we want to do? We want to do it by region by region. You see, United Kingdom has 4 countries in it as a whole. You know, people don't understand that. People always think a lot of people always think United Kingdom just London or England alone. For those that are not really exposed anyway. But they've forgotten that the United Kingdom has a combination of England, Wales,
I think we understand that. I think we understand that. And all these countries and all these nations or whatever you want to call them, they don't go ahead and say, oh, the Northern Scotland will rule today and then Southern Scotland will rule tomorrow. Even in the UK, even in the UK as a whole, right? When they want to pick a prime minister, they don't think about, oh, let's bring somebody from Scotland. We've not had Scottish prime minister. Let's bring a Northern Ireland person. Let's bring this one. Nobody thinks about these things. So I don't know where that argument was going to. I don't know where you were going to with that argument.
No. Let me correct something.
Okay.
In England, if you look at Wales, they are different. For Wales, they don't really have anything. They don't have money. They don't have anything. But if you look at Scotland are very, very vocal. They have their own political party. You understand? It is different from what you have in England.
I think you're giving us a different history here. I don't know that we are interested.
I'm just trying to.
I understand. I understand that. I understand that. However, Scotland doesn't have a turn-by-turn policy. If that's the point you're trying to make, I don't.
Now the problem now that is going on in the United Kingdom is Scotland wants to pull out completely because they are tired of being given this instruction from England. That is the same thing we are talking about. They are tired. England wants a particular way of doing things. Scottish people want a particular way of doing things. They are tired of going to the
All right,
parliament.
but we're not.
Now,
My brother, one
let me
second.
finish.
You're pushing a narrative, and I'm not here for it, right? I'm not here about.
No.
Right.
You are not allowing me to make my point.
No, you keep.
Each time I want to make my point, you go the other way around.
No. But
let
because
me finish.
I'm not gonna let you finish. I need you to stay on track. You're talking about Scotland pulling out. We're not talking about anybody pulling out from anywhere. That's not the argument today. Scotland is not actively having a turn-by-turn politics. Yeah, you're not saying that. I don't know if that's what you're arguing, but it doesn't seem like you're arguing that as well. England, you've brought it as a case study. They don't have a turn-by-turn politics. We've had somebody of Indian descent or Pakistani descent be the Prime Minister of England. They don't. So I don't know where you're going to with that argument. Instead, you're throwing a narrative that I don't want to hear.
If you listen to
but
me,
I don't want to sit here and be listening to your monologue when you're pushing.
My problem with you right now is
you're pushing a narrative.
Can I finish?
You're pushing a narrative.
Can I finish?
No, I'm going to mute you if you don't pause. You're pushing a narrative of division and separation, and I don't want to hear it. If that makes sense to you, I'm not here to talk about Scotland is trying to.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That is not what I'm doing.
All right.
Even if Scotland pull out of United Kingdom, it will have not done any good. It will have made the whole situation worse.
All right. Please bring it back to the turn by turn. Please bring it to the turn by turn.
But what I'm telling you is this: the turn by turn can actually work if there's a framework and people understand that a particular region, if this country is actually divided into region, or this country is allowed to go back to where it started from, and we understand that within this kind of region, these are the same set of people. They will elect their own people when it's their turn. So you group them into that same three regions. This is the north, this is the south, this is the west.
Will there be a prime minister? Will there be a prime minister?
Yes, there's no big
in
deal
this your
whether
setup.
A prime minister or a president.
All right. So in this your setup, there's going to be a prime minister. Where is that prime minister going to be coming from?
Whether there's the prime minister or a president,
hear my question.
I don't care.
Hear my question. So in this your setup of Nigeria, we have regions, right? That's what we have. I snap my finger. That's what we have right now. We have three regions: north, south, whatever it is, right? There's going to be a prime minister. Do you agree with me, right? Do you agree with me?
Of course. Of course.
Which region will that prime minister be coming from?
Now that's what I'm telling you. There's definitely it can come from any region. It is every 8 years. It is every 8 years. Each region will provide a prime minister. And the truth of the matter is, see, the unification of the country is the most essential.
Yeah.
You are not allowing me to talk. Now, your own thought of mine
because
is your own thought of
because
mine.
it's a debate. It's a debate. Why don't you understand it's a debate? I'm not going to allow you just keep talking.
Talk now, my bro. If I talk over you, you won't like it. You cut me off because you are the moderator.
No.
You say I talk too much. I'm not listening to you.
You're deflecting.
Okay, let me keep quiet.
You are deflecting. You were telling us about Scotland wanting to pull out of England. That has absolutely nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do with this topic.
Again. No,
you're doing it again. You're doing it again.
Scotland.
That was you said.
Stop.
That was the reason why I had to tell you that I would mute you, because we are talking about Scotland trying to pull out of England. I told you were pushing a narrative that I'm not here for. I don't want to hear about pulling out. That's not what we're talking about. So that was why I said that. But this is a debate. I'm telling you that your own argument no strong. That's all I'm doing here, my brother. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It doesn't make anything for now.
All
because
right.
Your own narrative, you know your own narrative is not my own narrative.
Absolutely.
And just because you're the moderator, you are not allowing me to push my own narrative. And secondly, I'm not talking about Scotland anymore.
Okay.
Scotland is a gone issue. And I equally told you, and I've corrected that fact, that I'm not support of separation.
You still don't seem to understand why I brought this Scotland back. You still don't seem to understand it, but that's okay. What you were talking about zones and regions. Say there'll be regions, and then there'll be a prime minister.
Let's go back. If we can go back to the same regional way of doing things from the very beginning.
Okay.
Right? Where everybody is working at their optimal space. And within that region, everybody has a head. Everybody has head. The Northern has their own head, Sultan of Sokoto, Sudan or whatever it is. Awolowo was there. Zikiwe was for the East and all that. You understand? zone into different zones. These people will be elected because they
We
come together.
already have
it's
this.
All about,
we already have this working in Nigeria right now.
We don't have now. We don't have now.
We do.
That was then. We
do.
don't have now.
You hear me out.
How?
We do. Let me tell you how. That's what I'm telling you. You keep saying we don't have now.
How?
The Southwest states, Southwestern people are ruling the Southwestern states currently. There's no Igbo man as governor in any Southwestern state. Southeastern states, there is no Hausa man in the Southeastern states. South state, there is no Hausa man in the South. So we have that currently. We're talking about president. Then that was why I was asking.
No, we don't have that. You are confused. You are confusing the whole matter.
I'm not confusing it. I'm not confusing it. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Let me make the argument clearly. Let me make the argument clearly. Let me make the argument clearly. I'm just putting it side by side, saying we have something similar. In the southeastern states, we have Igbo governors in the 5 southeastern states. If we have a region, which is eastern region, it's going to be an Igbo governor, correct? That's the argument I'm saying. But regardless, in this regional government you're painting, there is going to be a prime minister. And that prime minister currently is akin to the president we have currently. That is the focal point now. So where is that prime minister going to be coming from? And where is this president?
That is where you have a constitutional provision. Everybody needs to sit down and look at it very well. Is it good for us? If it is good for us, what do we want to do? How do we want to retort it? What do we want the country to look like? What is our aim and objective? Every country that want to do such a thing would definitely know that they need to be strategic in thinking. One,
tell me how because this is just the argument here. Tell me how this arrangement of picking a president or prime minister, for sake of argument here, a prime minister. Tell me how this picking prime minister from each region. Tell me how it helps the economy of the regional government now. Tell me how it helps the economy.
One reason is the center will not be the apex, will not be the main focus. Everybody will produce at the optimal because everybody know they contribute whatever they have.
The question is not the regional government itself. I'm saying, tell me how the rotation of the prime minister from northeast to tell me how the rotation of that prime minister, sole person, not the government, the person, the individual. Tell me how the rotation of that individual across each regions, how does it help the economy of the regional government?
Well, it will not, because it's still going to be ceremonial. It's just going to be ceremonial.
So you're saying the prime minister of the UK is ceremonial?
No, I'm not saying the prime. You said we should not talk about that. I don't want to go to that area.
No.
I don't want to. So let's
my brother,
you
I don't know if you're doing this mischievously. I'm using this example now because UK has somewhat of that style of governance, right? The UK has a prime minister. I'm not talking about Scotland.
No, they don't have the one. They don't have the kind of one I'm proposing. It's different.
All right. Which country would you say? Which country would you say has the one you're proposing? Which country would you say has that?
It doesn't matter. We want.
It does matter though, for sake of context. It does matter.
You are
context.
getting it wrong because Nigeria is. See, every country needs to be treated according to their peculiarity. Countries are different. Don't treat UK as Nigeria. Don't treat Nigeria as UK.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let's bring it to Nigeria then. Let me ask you the question again. The rotation of even because this is kind of a fallacy. We don't have a regional government. What we currently have right now is what we have. We have states. We have the presidency. How does using Tinubu now is from the west, it's from the south. The next election cycle, they will say we need to go pick from the north. How does that help the economy of Nigeria? How does it help us progress?
One, it will give us stability. One, if we have it written down and understand that this is the way we'll be running this country. One. Secondly, it gives us economic projection because everybody will know that this is the way things will go. And secondly, the state will actually work at the optimal because initially from the very beginning, Nigeria was much more richer when we were doing regional government because everybody was on their toes.
I don't know if you understand the question because now you're talking about regional again. We're not talking about regional. We're talking about the current situation of Nigeria. Tinubu is from the south.
I just told you.
Hear me out. I took some notes. Tinubu is from the south. The next time they will say it has to come from the north. And you're saying this arrangement of north and south, it helps stabilizes the economy. It brings economic projection. and he says the states would work at optimal. Tell me how a northern Nigerian president would help Nigerian states work at the optimal. Explain that to me.
See,
You said this. I'm not making it up. You said this.
Wait. Yeah. What you said is this. For you said the economic benefit
Of rotating president from north and south.
President.
Yeah.
That is what I'm telling you. I said the economic benefit is very simple. The number one of it is stability.
Okay.
There won't be conflicts. Because if you don't have conflict, every other thing will go on fine for you.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
If everything is right,
okay.
that is one.
Let me now
Second,
use Buhari.
Let
me use Buhari. How stabilized was the Nigerian economy during Buhari? We still having this our north and south arrangement. How stabilized was Nigeria?
Even you cannot be using that context. You cannot be using that as a yardstick to what we are saying.
All right.
What we are saying during Buhari era, we are passing presidential system of government. That's what we are telling you. Even when Buhari was there, the Igbos were complaining.
Are we not still practicing the same thing now?
No. We are saying what we are saying here is this.
No, maybe you have a whole different idea in your head. What I came here to do, Nami, they host this show. It's up there. I came here to debate. I didn't come here to say any other thing apart from what I'm saying. Maybe you are having a whole different idea of what you think I'm doing here. I'm saying turn by turn politics in Nigeria is not working. Is that where you're on, Abi? You have something else that you think that we're doing?
My brother, it's still the same thing. I'm telling you, Buhari era was not turn by turn. It was still presidential.
No, it was turn by turn. Because
let me give you an example of why it's not turn by turn. Because during that same election, you still have people from the south, despite the fact that say it's actually it wasn't constitutional, it wasn't written, no. It's just a party thing. So you don't confuse it. It was just the political party that says they should allow this northerner to rule.
Mr. Abraham, I think I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because obviously you came to play devil's advocate, so it's not even you're trying to make these points and you keep shifting the arguments all over the place. I need somebody who really believes this that will stop shifting the argument. We want to stay on course, but I appreciate you, Mr. Abraham, for joining. Let's move to the next guest.
Okay.
All right, please, whoever is talking, can you please mute yourself? Because my app is tripping. I can't see who is here and who is not here. So please mute yourself, please. Anyway, make I see whether I fit mitigate or help this problem here. You're gonna give me 1 second. My app is tripping. I don't see the names of the people here. That's crazy. Anyway, I think we just had that conversation with Mr. Abraham. We go drop him at this point and get the next guest up here. But I appreciate you guys for joining. Let me read some chats here and then we'll keep the conversation moving. We have Obi Bigapo from Facebook. He says, we the Igbos have leadership problem. That is why all right, we're not going to read that. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Obi Bigapo, for joining. Chidi Castillo, he says, Southeast doesn't look... 1 second. Southeast doesn't look like a jungle. That's a fact. I don't know who's calling Southeast. Anyway, all this on a banter. We're not going to do that. But Mr. Big Apple, Obi Big Apple, and Big Apple Plus. We have two Big Apples. We have Obi Big Apple and Big Apple Plus. Thank you guys for joining. Ola Adewale, he says Nigeria should only look for the best leader and not rotational leadership. Absolutely. That's the point. That's the argument that I'm on. And we're looking for people who would oppose that. All right. Let's get back to TikTok here and read some of the chats here. Let's see. Nemeka, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. If you've not followed me yet, this is a good time to follow me, by the way. Click the follow button. I think it's on this side. Click that follow button. Appreciate you guys. Be Fit, Planet, Trendy, Affordable. He says you should have allowed the guy to talk. It's a debate. What do you expect? And he kept steering away from the topic. And I'll give him benefit of the doubt because he was playing devil's advocate. He doesn't truly believe that. So I'll give him benefit of the doubt. Anyway, thank you for being here. Benefit Planet, Trendy, Affordable. Appreciate you. Anthony NG says, bring me up. I'll definitely, okay, my app. Be like my app, don't they work well now? I don't see names again. All right. Now, Mr. K make me create this live. Mr. Anthony, if you want, I know say Mr. Anthony, he's also a very good debater. By the way, for those who don't know, we also have this show where we have the debate, Tinubu, Peter Obi, and Atiku. We have contenders who come on and debate their candidates, right? Mr. Anthony has always been, he and Mr. K, they are two people that always become champions. So I need a very good debater who go beat me for this, who go beat me with points today, right? I see Mr. Oye here as well. I see Mr. Anthony. All right. I'm going to bring two of you up. I hope, say, when I go there on the other side and not playing devil's advocate so that we'll have a good debate. Unlike Mr. J-Con, he said I get comprehension issue. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much. All right, make I bring Mr. Anthony up and then bring Mr. Oye here. All right. All right. Let's go to Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter Adio. Mr. Peter Adio, thank you for joining. If you want to unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for this wonderful job you are doing.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, you have to be listening to people's opinions as well. I know, like sometimes.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for the lecture. Thank you for the lecture, Mr. Peter. I appreciate your lecture.
Yeah,
but that's not why we're here. Let's talk about the thing here.
Let me start with. I'm supporting is should be turn by turn because of the situation of the country.
All right.
Now, if we start from the inception of the so-called Nigeria, somebody said, like they said, Awolowo said, Nigeria is just like a mere geographical location. There are a lot of countries within that are embedded within Nigeria. Some people are just talking about only the Igbos, the Hausa, the Yoruba. There are a lot of other people. Like that is the reason we have more than 250 ethnic groups. Ethnic groups in Nigeria. Now, if you start from the amalgamation of the North and South, what was the reason behind it? What was the reason? They said, okay, the South was really like the economic was booming in the South, whereas it was not the same thing with the North. So in order to meet the deficit in the North, they have to match the South and the North together. Now, not because they are the same, not because they have religious similarity or tribal or political similarity. No.
Right.
It's just because of the economic purpose.
Mr. Peter,
for the British.
let me ask you a simple question here, right? Let me say you own Dangote. Now you be the CEO of Dangote, right? How would you hire your employer? You're the owner, not CEO. You're the owner of Dangote Limited, right? How would you hire a CEO? How would you hire a CEO? If you're looking for a CEO, how would you hire that CEO?
I will definitely look for competence. I'm not going to look for somebody who's from my tribe or from my whatever.
So why don't you think that you can use that same idea as Nigeria? Now we be the CEO of Nigeria. Now we be the owners of Nigeria. We want to hire a CEO. Why are we looking at, the tribes, these tribes are these tribes? Why are we not looking for someone who's competent? Because that idea has given us Buhari. This idea of rotation has given us Buhari.
Because the foundation of Nigeria was not even set up to that situation. That somebody mentioned Ahmadu Bello the other time. The guy was very correct. Because
what about Ahmadu Bello? What about Ahmadu Bello?
Right from the onset, the Awolowo, the Ahmadu Bello, the Zik, all of them have different orientation. They have different agenda. So they are never, it was even the South that pushed for the independence, not the North. And that was the reason the power was actually given to the North when the British were leaving. Because they know that the people in the South, they gave them a lot of trouble.
We're not talking about the British and that colonial stuff now. What we're talking about is, what about Ahmadu? Why is what Ahmadu Bello said? Why should that be something we should be discussing? He's an individual. That's his opinion.
He was an individual and it was his opinion, but that opinion is still resonating till today.
What exactly did he say? Let's even see if it's
What he said, he was talking about the Igbo people.
Okay.
At that time, he was saying that if you give the Igbo man a space today, or you give him an opportunity today, he's going to go and bring all his people.
Okay.
And they will keep expanding and expanding and expanding.
All right, let's argue on that now, right? The Igbo man that you gave the opportunity, and he's now bringing his other people, is he imposing those people on you, or are they qualified to do the job?
Now, to him, from his own perspective,
No,
it
you said it's still valid today. Let's remove him now. You said it's still valid today. Now let's talk about it, me and you. If you bring that Igbo man to your establishment, Dangote, now you own Dangote, you hire one
yes.
Igbo man as CEO, and that
you
Igbo
know
man
that-
CEO now is bringing all his brothers. Are you the owner just going to allow him impose his Igbo people everywhere if they are not competent?
Yeah, they are competent. They are competent people in every tribe.
Okay.
They don't forget about
you're not here. Okay, I agree with you.
I understand.
agree
Just
with
let
you.
me-
But
I'm
answer
just
the
saying,
question
okay.
though. Answer the question though.
So now, if you are only bringing the Igbo people or Yoruba people, just like what is happening right now, they said Bola Tinubu is only bringing the Yoruba people.
Okay.
And you know what is causing in the country right now? Is it causing unity or disunity?
In Bola
No, I'm
Tinubu's,
just asking you that question.
in
Is
Bola's-
it bringing unity or disunity?
I cannot say that's kind of subjective. The question is subjective.
Okay, listen.
But
The same thing-
hear me
the
out.
same thing-
Let
I
me
mean,
defend.
see,
Let me
listen, I'm
defend
a Yoruba
Tinubu.
man.
Hear me out.
I'm a Yoruba man.
I hear you.
The
But hear
same
me
thing
out.
Yaradua-
Hear me out,
the same thing,
Mr. Peter.
okay.
Please hear me out. Tinubu is going according to the constitution. So this is not. We're not talking about his cabinet. His cabinet is following social character. Be waiting they call him. Special
They
character.
don't, what we call it. I've forgotten this.
Me
character.
and you know the character we would
What
talk
we are
about.
talking about, yeah.
Me and you know the character. He is following it. If he know they follow him, lawsuits for them there everywhere. He's picking his cabinet members from everywhere in Nigeria. You might say it's lopsided, but it doesn't mean that he's not
It's
satisfying
very
it.
lopsided.
But
I'm a Yoruba man, very lopsided.
I hear you. I hear you. You might say it's lopsided, but it doesn't mean that he's not fulfilling that special federal character. It doesn't mean he's not fulfilling it.
Yeah,
He's
the
fulfilling
federal
it.
character,
Now,
federal
here is the
character.
question. Here is the argument here. It's the president. It's Tinubu we're talking about. We're not talking about his character, his cabinet. We're talking about him, the presidency as an individual. Why should we be focusing on tribes instead of competence? Which you've already agreed with me, oh.
Yeah, because there is no unity in the country. Now, if you take a look at it, the northern people that are complaining right now, whenever somebody who is a president is not from the north, there will be chaos every time. Forget about that. Was the reason they removed Jonathan.
Okay.
There is no. You can disagree with me, but that's the truth. Now, anybody who comes from any part of the country, if you are not from the north, you will have problem with them, because they believe powers will remain with them, because of what the British people caused. I scanned a British man that was on Monday, this week Monday. Then how did he know me? I just, he just said, oh, you have an accent.
That's a good, we don't want to hear that story. However, you've said that it brings unity, like, the North and South, they bring unity. I hope I'm not putting this in your mouth.
Yes, it brings unity.
Unity, right?
Apart from that,
we've been practicing this arrangement for decades now. How unified are we?
No, we've not been practicing. It has not reached other sides. Only
North
few
and
set
South.
up.
North and South. We've been practicing it.
The North, they just put it North and South because they know with the political.
But that's what we're practicing, though. That's what we're practicing.
Language.
That's what we're
North
practicing.
And South. If you take a look at the North and South, okay, from the South, who are the beneficiary? Does it go round?
Good luck was president. Good luck Jonathan was president.
Even in the North, is the other part of we have North Central, we have president. We have Northeast. We have Northwest.
All that stuff, all that technicality doesn't matter. It's North and South. In the North, there are other areas. In the South, there are areas. It's North and South. The idea is when it goes to the North, then go figure out which area where they go pick from. And when it comes to the South, we go figure out which area we'll go pick from. Right now, it's in the Southwest, right? Then the next time it will come to the South people will now say, oh, the Southwest don't get before. Make we go Southeast. Southeast never gets before. Make we do for Southeast. You see what I'm saying? So that's the argument.
I understand.
But my question is, you said it's supposed to unify the country. Since we've been practicing it, OBJ was president. The next person was Yaradua. The next person was Yaradua. And rest his soul now. Yaradua lost his. And then Jonathan became. And then the next person was Buhari. And now we have somebody from the South. We've been practicing North and South. North and South. That's the argument here. So you said about unity. How has it unified us?
Yeah, if every like for instance now since the inception of this nascent democracy we have from 1999, if it was only a particular tribe that has been producing the presidency in this country, I'm telling you, this country, even the little unity we have now, forget about it. It's not. It wouldn't have been like this.
So you're
It is only
saying
the North.
we should prioritize unity over progress and development. Is that what you're saying? We should bring another Buhari. In your opinion, we should bring another Buhari that, in my opinion, has set us back 1,000 years. We should just for sake of unity, we should be prioritizing unity over progress and development.
Okay, when the Northerners, when they were the one during the military era, almost like all the people that have been governing this country, whether in terms of military rule, in terms of majority of them, they're from the North. Now,
Okay,
since
my
the
brother,
Northerners have been ruling this
know.
country,
You're not. I think you just want to say something. You're not focusing on this.
I'm focusing on turn by turn. That's what I'm saying.
You're not necessarily. I'm saying.
So if the Northerners who have ruled this country for a long time, what has it achieved for them? If we say, okay, only ones, we should just look for competency, like, okay, one person, one tribe should continue to rule. What development?
Not one tribe, not one tribe. Whoever is competent, wherever that person is from, as long as they are Nigerian.
That's what I'm saying. That all competent people are in everywhere.
So the time it went to this, and here, that is why I have this argument, right? If we keep using this system of, okay, competence is everywhere, but it doesn't work in our favor, the people. It doesn't work in our favor. Because if we're using this North and South, then the political class, now then go pick who they want. Tinubu picked Buhari. We did not pick Buhari. Tinubu picked Buhari. See what Buhari did for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't favor us. It doesn't favor us. The political class, the elite, now them they win. So let us pick whoever, a Nigerian. It doesn't matter where that person is from. If not another person, so be it. Now we pick him.
See, another importance of turn by turn is competition. If you are there, let me explain that competition. If you are there now, let's assume that Tinubu does well. You understand? And it is the turn of another person, whether from the north or from the southeast, and they look at, oh, this is what Tinubu is one of the best president Nigeria has ever produced, and they look at the policies and all this, the implementation of those policies and how it affected people positively. Another person that comes after him, we won't be too busy like, no, I want to surpass what this man did.
Not necessarily.
I want to do better than that.
Not necessarily.
No, but
this can also work without the turn by turn, but not necessarily, because what we are currently practicing is the turn by turn, and it doesn't. It's not reflecting that. Instead, what it's reflecting is depreciation. We depreciate. If we be stock market, we don't go like this. Baba Olusegun Obasanjo was from the south, right? Relatively, he did better than Buhari. This one not even relatively. He did way better than Buhari. Way better. So why didn't Buhari say, oh, I want to do better than Olusegun? So with this, your argument, it doesn't work. It helps my own argument if we are bringing anybody from anywhere.
It's not one factor that, Nigerian is a complex country. Now, if you look at the people of Nigeria, they are very different. That's the reason I'm saying it's not going to work if it is we say, oh, we should just be using only one person. For instance, now, look at the North. If you look at their own orientation,
you're making a wrong argument. We're not using any.
Just wait.
When you said something that is false, hear me out. Make I correct what you say, then you continue. We are not picking just one tribe. I'm saying let us pick a Nigerian, regardless of where that person is from. I'm not saying let us continue picking Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let us pick a Nigerian based on competence. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. If how do we pick? That one now comes to how do we now pick the competent people? This politics we are talking about, it is politics of games and the number of people, the population. Understand?
I'll give you I'll answer that your question. How do we pick that competent person, right?
So how do we now pick?
Let me give you an example. Currently, in my opinion, the two best performing governors in Nigeria, Sanwo-Olu and Alex Oti. Currently, in my opinion, they are the two best performing governors. So let's say Tinubu finishes, let's say Tinubu wins the next election. The next cycle, then you go be say, oh, is the North turn? But we've seen two people that have delivered. We've seen them, they've delivered. They've delivered their states.
Yeah, they will tell you that there
you're
are
saying
other
that they will
better...
now tell you tell me who's better than these two people I just
They
mentioned.
will tell you there
No,
are
you
some
tell
other
me.
people.
You tell me.
There are some untested
you
people.
tell me. You tell me.
Untested people that are not in politics.
No,
that are better
my brother
than
Peter, Mr. Peter, tell me who is better than these two people currently.
If OT and Sanwo-Olu are not given the opportunity, will you know whether they are going to be better or not? If people are not tested, how will you know they are going to be better?
I'll tell you, Alex Oti, he didn't just come from nowhere. He was in in finance.
All of them, including Sanwo-Olu.
Right? So they were tested in those regards.
There are some people that are captains of industries. There are some people that you yourself, you can mention up to 100 people in Nigeria that are very good. That you know that if these people become president of Nigeria, things will change for better.
I'm going with the trajectory of how we've seen Nigeria work or pick a president, right? Obasanjo was a former head of state. Yar'Adua, I don't know. I don't know his background. But Goodluck Jonathan was a former deputy governor of Bayelsa, also governor of Bayelsa, then former vice president of the country, and then he became president. Then the next person, Buhari. Buhari was former head of state. Next person, Tinubu was former governor. So you see the point I'm trying to make, right? Atiku that is contesting, I think he will contest, is former vice president. Peter Obi, former governor. Amechi, former governor. Rauf Aregbesola, former governor.
All these people
hear me out. Here, I'm making a case that these people, they didn't just come randomly. We know them because they've held public offices. Since I'm giving you a timeline of Nigerian presidency.
But they started from somewhere too.
From governor. That's where they started.
Some of them, for instance,
I'm using this argument to tell you that the next Nigerian president...
Look at Jonathan. Jonathan started from chairman.
Let me finish.
Chairmanship position.
Mr. Peter, please stop cutting me. The next president of Nigeria will most likely be a former governor of a state in Nigeria. It won't just be a random person coming from anywhere. So we know that person's antecedents. So my argument is, if we have Sanwo-Olu and Alex Oti, why should we now be looking at someone from the north, the northern governors, unless you can tell me one that you think is doing very well, then we can unilaterally support that person.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm saying Nigeria is not an homogeneous nation. The people of the north, listen to me. Let me just give my opinion.
I'm just writing. Why are you deflecting? I'm just writing.
Now listen, Tinubu just leaves now. Let's assume Tinubu leaves now, and you are saying, okay, the best performing governors are Alex Oti and Sanwo-Olu. Now we say, okay, we want to pick Alex Oti or you want to pick Sanwo-Olu. The people in the northern part of Nigeria, they will say, no. The person that just left here, is from the south.
But why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Because of the people's orientation. That's what I'm saying. Because otherwise, it's not going to bring unity.
All right, fair enough. I think your argument is based on unity. I think the unity should not.
That's number one. That's number one.
I'm trying to move forward. It doesn't matter, my brother. I'm trying to move forward. We're going in circles. Your argument is based on unity. My argument is based on progress and development. I don't think we should prioritize unity over progress and development of a country. I don't think we should prioritize that, in my opinion. But anyway, you're holding yours on unity, and that's okay. But make we move forward. I appreciate you, Mr. Peter. All right, Mr. Rafi, man, before you unmute yourself, we go to... I want somebody who give me a better argument, where no go just based on emotions. So we're going to bring Mr. Anthony. Mr. Anthony, please, if you want to unmute yourself, make we go. Now, Mr. K, make me host this show. Now, I don't see Mr. K. Mr. K, I don't see you again. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Anthony.
So you have to jump both of us.
Yes, these people are
to Anthony.
Yes, they are co-hosts. So please mute yourself. Mr. Anthony is a co-host here. Mr. O is a co-host here. We'll get to you in a moment, but I appreciate you.
So us wasting our data.
All right. Sorry about that, Mr. Anthony, and I thank you guys for your patience. But I do have some co-hosts here that we're going to attend to and then get back to the queue. But I appreciate you guys' patience. Mr. Anthony, if you want to make we hear your argument, and thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you, Pierre Paulo. I greet you and I greet everyone. So I've listened to some of the argument here, but we must understand something here that the zoning is an informal political agreement. You understand what I mean? And if we understand this very well, that Nigeria has a deep ethnic, regional, and religion diversity in our own country. And the reason why we're zoning this, because I see that we've been making a mistake when it comes to politics and governance. You understand what I mean? So if we have to look at this very well, why this is very important in Nigeria is to prevent one region from dominating power. You understand? And to reduce political tension and feelings of marginalization in our own country, and to promote national stability as well. That is the reason why we see this play in our own country, in Nigeria. And as well, we must understand something that we need to differentiate, even if they together, right? Which is politics and governance. When you're referring to development, progress in the country, you understand what I mean. However, politics is how to grab the power. You understand what I mean? How to get the power, and as well, governance is how to use the power. You understand? So if you're talking about competency, picking somebody in anywhere in Nigeria, at the end of the day, right? Even if this is on unwritten law, we all understand this, unwritten law. But even though we open the books and say that, okay, we can just choose from nowhere. However, we can still, choosing from nowhere, we can still have the likes of Buhari as well. You understand what I mean? It's who the citizens actually vote for. It's what decide that, okay, if Sanwo-Olu that you're talking about today competing with somebody in the northern Nigeria that have the same behaviors as Buhari, right? And the numbers that are coming from the northern Nigeria that we know that they have the population, they will still deliver Buhari in the general election. So it's how you play your politics when you go into an election cycle in Nigeria, a country. Let me give you an example of a country in the world. I'll give a good example when we're talking about power rotation. It's Kenya. Kenya, when we talk about power rotation, is Kenya. Kenya do a regional rotation, even it is on written law in Kenya as well. But we see how it brings a national stability in the country, and they're able to pick from their region when the time for an election and pick a competent person from that region. We might not be practicing this to the extent that, okay, we continue to deliver a competent person from different zone in Nigeria, because it's not about 6 geopolitical zone in our own country. It's not north and south. You understand what I mean? It's not like the way Kenya practice their own. Kenya is going zone by zone. You understand? But in Nigeria, we're going by north and south. But it's not written in our own constitution. It's a gentleman agreement. And the only party that actually adopt this in Nigeria is PDP.
All right.
It's in their constitution.
All right. Mr. Anthony, you've given some good points and I took some notes here, so maybe we just unpack them a little bit. One of them, you said, now we have a deep ethnic issue in Nigeria, which I agree with. Absolutely. Most people go, say them be Igbo or them be Hausa or them be Yoruba before they even say I be Nigerian. So that definitely is a problem. And that's why the this unwritten law, or even call it federal character, was established in the first place. So that, again, like you said, so that some people will not be felt left behind. But again, I can also argue that this thing was done for stability. And I think you also mentioned that as well. So that the national stability. Yeah. But should we be prioritizing stability over development?
That is why I came with my argument in my submission that if we look at the politics and the governance, you understand what I mean? Governance is how you use the power. Even though if I have to agree with you that this is not the right way to go for development in Nigeria, we can still pick a competent person ruling our own country. If you open the book for all Nigerians to rule, you understand? You say, okay, we can pick from anywhere, like the example that you gave, Sanwo-Olu or Alex Otti. But we're just giving those people a benefit of doubt that they will be able to unlock the potential of the country.
But that's the only way we can do it. Let's take, for instance, Buhari. I know you mentioned Buhari as well. That's the only way we can pick. We can only pick based on benefit of the doubt, based on what you've done, not just a random catchy, right? You're not going to pick random catchy. You're going to pick someone who's been in public service and give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to deliver. That's how I think we should be picking. But let's talk about Buhari. Buhari, he was also given benefit of the doubt. He was former head of state. But in my opinion, colossal failure. Took Nigeria back. He was picked. He was selected because he was the North Star. And then Tinubu aligned with him, picked him pretty much, and he became president of Nigeria. That doesn't help us because the politicians are still the ones that are going to win. We don't win. Tinubu or some other person might go again and say, oh, is the North done? Let's go there and align with this person and bring this person. We are not the ones selecting. The politicians are still selecting for us. That's my argument on that. Yeah.
Let me come in, right? You see, we gave a benefit of doubt in 1999 and bring President Olusegun Obasanjo into power, which Nigerians actually vote for him. You understand what I mean? And what happened? Under President Olusegun Obasanjo is the one that laid the foundation, the corruption foundation that we practice. Some of the issues that we're facing today, right? It's actually started from President Olusegun Obasanjo and move all the way to Musa Yar'Adua. So continue to rest in peace. Also, let's go to Jonathan administration. We gave the Jonathan administration the benefit of doubt in Nigeria, right? Which is the open book as well. What happened? We see the issue of corruption, different things, mismanage of funds in Nigeria. We move to Buhari as well. We give Buhari the benefit of doubt that, okay, and this has nothing to do with zoning. You understand? It's the leader that we're putting in forward to rule our own country. You understand? That the citizens are not looking the way to choose a leader and listen to a leader that, okay, when they're making their own manifesto or their campaign, right, they are not asking for the right questions. You understand what I mean? Yeah. No question has been asking from these leaders in our own country. Even zoning or no zoning, without the citizens understanding how to pick the right leaders to lead their own country, to unlock the potential of their own country, we still continue to move in the same circle. You understand what I mean?
I understand, and I agree with some of the things you said. However, we're not going to get into. You said Obasanjo laid the foundation for the corruption we're seeing today. Let's not get into that anyway. But in my opinion, Obasanjo is the only person that we actually select, like we the people actually picked. In my opinion, all the other people, Obasanjo picked Yar'Adua. By virtue of Yar'Adua dying, some people would say he was a mastermind chess played by Obasanjo. Somehow, taking advantage of Yar'Adua's health at the time, and so he invariably picked those two people, Yar'Adua and Goodluck Jonathan, and then Tinubu picked Buhari, and now Tinubu is the president, right? So none of these people have been selected by the people. Again, I would say maybe only Obasanjo and Tinubu. They selected by the people so far. All these other ones, now pick. Somebody is selecting them for us.
I would like to disagree there. You understand
in what side? Where are you disagreeing?
When you talk about pick, right? These people pick their candidate from their own party. You understand what I mean? And they put them on the ballot paper. And in the election, last 2023 election is the list that we have in Nigeria, that we have 18 candidates. But in the past, we have almost 30 candidates, 20-something candidate. Nigerian picks these people.
Not really. Let me push back on that Nigerians pick. Not really. Again, my argument still stands that
they vote for them.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. But I'm saying who brought them, who selected them for us to vote for them. It's not Nigerians that selected those people.
That is party activities. You understand what I mean?
This is the argument that I want to make here, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying that Obasanjo and Tinubu are the only two people that have actually presented themselves, not picked by anybody. These are the only two people, in my opinion. And let's say, peradventure, Peter Obi wins the election. He would be the third person that has presented himself, not anybody picking him or selecting him. I don't know if you agree with me or that, but
I still disagree there.
Okay.
Who elected in the primary election, right? In APC, right? There's a people that actually put President what's his name? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu forward, including Buhari himself. You understand what I mean?
Not really.
Yeah. There was a primary election.
There was a primary election, but
it's not just
but what I saw on television, Buhari's body language didn't seem like he really endorsed Tinubu. Tinubu brought himself out to serve.
Other party member endorsed him, right?
I see what you're saying with that. However, again, it's just Tinubu brought himself out and went to compete.
It's not. No. If if other party endorse him, right, that means that the party said, okay, this is the right person to represent our own party in the forthcoming election. You understand what I mean? So that is why they pick, they actually put Tinubu forward.
Not really. Not really. Tinubu brought himself out, and we all know the famous slogan, "It's my turn." He didn't need anybody to endorse him.
No.
We know the slogan he made, "It's my turn," and he brought himself out because he felt it was his turn. He brought himself out. I'm not making this up.
No, that is politics. That is politics. But in a way, he has to compete for that position. You understand what I mean?
He definitely did. Again, my argument is he brought himself forward, not like somebody bring... Yar'Adua, do you agree with me though? Obasanjo brought Yar'Adua. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, Obasanjo put Yar'Adua forward.
Tell me who put Tinubu forward.
No, the party put Tinubu forward. In politics, you cannot just say Tinubu just walked out of nowhere and he said, okay, I'm the one that will rule. I'm the one that will actually front my own party.
He needs a party though. Election. He needs a party to contest.
Without the party, there's no Tinubu. You understand? Without the party, there's no Tinubu.
Yeah.
So you have to understand this thing that people have to endorse him to participate in the election, in the primary, and he won the primary, and as well, he represents the party in the election.
All right, fair enough. Make we move forward. Make we move forward from power, that one. Let me give you another. Let me give you another argument here. Right. Once you decide whose turn it is, you've already decided who's not allowed to vote, who's not allowed to lead. Do you agree with that though? Once you say, oh, it's the North turn, you've already decided that anybody from South Nigeria, they're not allowed or qualified.
No, since we are all agreed that this is unwritten law, you understand what I mean, right? Even look at what is going on in the ADC today. Let's use it as an example, right? In the PDP, in the past election, the PDP choose not to go zoning, even is in their own constitution, right? So Atiku still participates in that election. However, let's say now Atiku won the election, so we will not be talking about zoning. We will have another northern ruling for 12 years in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You understand? So we can see that this thing is not like, okay, because we say it's the turn of the South or the turn of the North, means that is exactly what is going to happen. Once it's not in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, anything can catch us as a surprise. You understand? In the election day. So don't let us see that if it's in the Constitution, I will be arguing on the other side. You understand? Because I think that everybody should be able to participate in an election if you meet the requirement of the Constitution.
Fair enough, and you made a good point with Atiku, running regardless of the party's constitution even, and if he had won, then it would be, the northern people ruling for 16 years, like you said. I agree with that. Make we move forward, and you've definitely made good arguments in this regard, right? But make we move forward. I have another argument, unless you have one argument you want to throw, so that we can debate.
No, go ahead. What other argument?
All right. The argument here is that this turn-by-turn thing, it reinforces tribalism.
Should I? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Why I say that, since you say you don't think so, we're going to have a good debate then, hopefully. Why I say so is because when you say, oh, it's the North turn, then people from the Northern, Hausa, Fulani people, then even the people from the South would kind of feel marginalized. Oh, what about our turn? What about us? People from here never rule. Igbo people never rule. Ikwere people never rule. Efik people never rule. So it reinforces tribalism.
No, I understand where you're coming from now. If we have to, if we adopt the Kenyan system, right, that goes through the regions, that every regions have their own turn instead of just North and South, I think that wouldn't happen. But in Nigeria right now, there's a way we balance everything, even if we have a northern zone and the southern zone. But in the Senate House, we still have a representative that participating in the government, right? Coming from every region in Nigeria and every state. So you can see that we find a way to balance that area in the legislative area. So who are the most powerful people there are the legislator, which can actually impeach the president at the end of the day. And we even give the power to the vice president to vote onto the next election if they decided to carry out a next election. But if we're looking at a tribe I don't think I will be agreeing with you that it will cause that. Yeah, we will see people talk about what we're hearing today that, oh, we've been marginalized in the federal presidency and things like that. Yeah, those kind of things will come out, but that is not the way it looks as it stands right now. This is just to prevent one region from dominating. If we have to go the way you want us to go, right? To be honest, the way the Northerners have the power, they have the numbers, I think they will be dominating the presidency in Nigeria.
I think to push back on that, I think that the current way Nigeria is structured, I don't know any region that can dominate power because of the numbers. Say the South, Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, Northwest, North Central. One region cannot dominate power because
we will end up not producing president, because if we're going by the constitution that say you must win the 2/3 of the federation, you understand what I mean? So if let's for instance now.
I don't have the math, but that cannot necessarily be practical. That will end up not producing a president. I don't explain why you think that would be the case.
Listen to my argument right now, right? Let's say that the Northerners choose to stay on their own and say that, okay, we're only going to vote for the Northern person. You understand what I mean? And the Southerners said that, no, we're going to vote for our own people. And there's no voting coming from the South, from the South of the Northerner, and there's no voting coming from the North for the Southerner, right? That means we won't be able to get the 2/3 of the federation at the end of the day. Because
I think you're making it very strong, and I think it's also false that the Northern people, they're all very monolithic. That if a Northern person comes out, the whole North would vote. That's very strong, and I think it's also false. I don't think the Northern people are very monolithic.
I'm just saying, you understand what I mean?
I know you're just saying, but it doesn't work in reality because Peter Obi got 6 million votes. It wasn't Southeast people that gave him 6 million votes.
He got 6 million.
Even Tinubu, it wasn't Southwest people that gave him his 8 million votes.
Let me now tell you, right? He got 6 million votes and he lost 13 states in the northern Nigeria.
Scratch that. Tinubu, it's not the Southwest people that gave him 8 million votes.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. He lost the 25% that he needs to get from...
Tinubu became president, ultimately. Mm-hmm. That is why I say scratch Peter Obi. Tinubu became president. It's not the Southwestern people that gave him the 8 million votes. Nigerians voted him all around the board, right?
No. But if you want to, if you check the last election, right, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got the highest vote, is from the northeast and the northwest of Nigeria.
And that is the point. Yeah. And this one you're saying, it counters what you said earlier, that let me just make this not submission, but let me just make this, that it counters what you said earlier, that if northern person brings their person, then all northern people would vote for that person. If southern person brings their person, all southern people would.
I said if that happens, you understand what I mean, and did not choose. I use the word choose, right, to vote for their own person. You understand what I mean?
I understand what you mean, but that's not going to work in reality, because I'm telling you that Tinubu became president not because only the southern people voted for him. He became president because everybody voted for him, right?
No, but if you have somebody from the north, right, and you have somebody from the south, you understand, and the north want to continue to dominate power, right, and the southerner tired of it, right? And they choose not to vote for anyone from the northern Nigeria. You understand what I mean? And they not continue to vote for their own people, and the South is giving them that vote. And if the South tired of it, they will not vote for the northern, and they will vote for their own person. Right. And we will not produce president in Nigeria because we will not meet the constitutional requirements.
So this is your assumption. Again, let me be clear. This is an assumption, right?
This is just this is just an
and I'm telling you that this is your assumption. If we put it into paper, like write a theory, it will be false. It would not come out to be true. It will be false because Tinubu became president, and it wasn't because only southern people voted for him.
No, you're still referring it to the election. You're not hearing my argument. I said if we open the book and said, okay, anybody can come out, right? Like what you're supporting right now, that anyone can come out, and we continue to have northern, right, with the northern dominating the federal in Nigeria, right? And the southerner got tired of it. You understand what I mean? The southerner got tired of it because we are unable to produce a president from our own end. If we get tired of it, at the end of the day, we will stop we will stop voting from any candidate coming from the north. You understand? We stop voting for the candidate from the north and we vote for our own person. But, however, the northern...
You're assuming that people are monolithic, and I'm telling you that is not true. That's my argument. And again, I can go back to saying Tinubu BK, and then we'll keep going in circles, right? But make we move forward from that one. Would you prioritize stability over competence? What would you prioritize?
No, when you talk about national stability, it's very, very important.
What would you prioritize, though? It's definitely important. What would you prioritize?
It's a very tough question. You understand what I mean? Let me try to balance it. I will prioritize the national stability. You understand what I mean? Because if the nation is not stable, the economy cannot move forward. Okay. You understand what? Progress will not continue in that country. We will end up like a country like what's this South Sudan. You understand what I mean? It can lead the country to another civil war. You understand? So, but competence is very important to have a competent president to lead the nation, but you must prioritize stability in the country as well. Thank you.
Before you run, I don't mean run. I don't know if the thank you is like your closing remark. I want to push back on that. Sorry. You say economy. If we don't prioritize stability, then the economy may not be stable because stability kind of overrides everything, right? Would you say that the current north and south system that we've been practicing, would you say that it has helped Nigeria to be stable?
In a little way, right? If we can survive the democracy over 26 years in Nigeria, right? That means there's stability in our own country. It might not be 100%. You understand what I mean? But there's stability in the country. Because if there's no stability in the country, we see the point that one group in Nigeria try to overthrow the president. You understand? In this era. But we're able to counter those people because of some people believe that the democracy is the best for us in the country. But if there's no stability, some people will join them and make sure that they bring the president down and the military will overtake the country. But as it stands today, the national stability is what is still moving Nigeria forward today. And it's very important that we should maintain that. If not, we might end up in a civil war.
Fair enough. But again, my pushback on you saying the military will overtake the country, I don't know that that's very possible in Nigeria that we have today. We've seen or heard rumors.
No, if there's no stability, there's possibility.
I hear you on that. I'm just pushing back and saying that we've heard rumors of somewhat of an alleged coup in Nigeria right now. The president of Nigeria has a lot of powers. He can change things however he wants it to be done. And no president goes there and puts people who are his enemies in charge. Tinubu, some people say, oh, it's lopsided. That's how it is. That's just what it is. If I'm president, I'm only going to put people that I trust, and I also know that are competent. I'll put people there. Those are the people that I'm going to put in top leadership positions. I don't believe that kind of coup would happen in Nigeria. And in my opinion, I would prioritize competence, because if we have a competent president, regardless of where that person is from, imagine, I've said it multiple times now. Imagine say our GDP per capita now 20 million naira, right? Imagine say price of fuel is very, very 100 naira, 200 naira per liter. Imagine say dollar to naira rate is at a very nice rate. Imagine say infrastructure they go well. Who will be thinking about all these things? Yes, people would complain, absolutely. But it would not lead to the point where you say, there will be a coup or there will be a war.
But
that's my final submission. If you have a pushback.
My final remark is, even what you're supporting, which is me, I would say, because I'm arguing on the other side, does not guarantee a competent leader. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
Does not guarantee a competent leader. Even what I'm supporting today here on this platform does not guarantee a competent leader. How to choose a competent leader is boiled down to the citizens of the country to be able to ask a question to whoever is coming out and participate in politics, understand the dynamic politics of Nigeria very well, and be able to choose the right leader, not by emotion, not by sentiment, not by tribe, not by religion, but bring somebody that can actually unlock the potential of the country. Each way we go, any way we go, we can still pick a competent leader.
Absolutely.
Whether south and north.
I agree with you on that. However, I still believe that picking someone at random, regardless of where you're from, it has a higher chance of bringing a competent leader. Because we've tried this this selecting turn by turn thing for multiple times, multiple times. And in my opinion, it hasn't worked so far so good, right?
How come you did not vote for the Senate Labour Party in the last election?
Senate, what do you mean?
Zenith Labour, Labour Party. We have some doctors, we have some lawyers that we feel like they're competent, right? They actually participate in that election, but none of Nigeria choose a chance to question those people, to look at their ways and look on their ways and say that, okay,
I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you the reason why I didn't vote for that Zenith Labour Party. Is the reason why 6 million people voted for Labour Party. Labour Party is also somewhat an unknown party.
No, you see, this is the problem that we have in our own country.
It's the individual. It's not this person. I don't know who this person is, but Peter Obi, as an individual, he has been in public service. People know him. This is any Labour person. I don't know who, unless you know the person, you can name him so that we can talk about him.
No. This is the reason why.
No. Do you know the person in the Zenith Labour Party? Let's talk about the person.
Is a guy from Southeast, right? Is a guy from Southeast, and I think I actually read about.
Do you know his name?
One moment. Let me give you his name.
All right.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, take your time. But while you're looking for it, I'll just make more points, right? But anyway, the reason why nobody voted for maybe Kingsley Moalu. Kingsley Moalu was if it's Kingsley, then it's Kingsley Moalu. I forget what it was, but I know that name for sure. But I don't know exactly why I know him. Somebody said Kingsley, so it's probably Kingsley Moalu. But anyway, the reason why nobody voted or people didn't vote for him at scale is the reason why people voted for Peter Obi at scale. Because people know Peter Obi, they can look at his track record, they can look at his things. He's had things when he don't do before.
Not. His name is not Kingston. His name is Dan.
Dan, okay.
Okay. You understand? So that is the candidate.
Okay. I don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
So we're not going to pick that random person.
No. The best thing for you to do in every election, election is not just about ideology alone. You might be conservative or liberal, and in the general election, you might end up, if you're conservative, you can vote for liberal. You understand what I mean? In the general election. But all you need to do is to study the candidate himself. You understand? Not the only person in the political arena. You must study the candidate, what the candidate has done, what he's doing as of this moment, which institution he has led before, how did he perform, his antecedent is really matters. But we don't choose. We only focus on the major political party in Nigeria.
And that's how it works all over the world, sadly. That's how it works all over the world. People look at the shiny people. People don't look at, Kachi, they run Bia Palo podcast. He's very successful with that, Let's try him. No, people look at the people that are really shiny. You see what I'm saying?
They bring themselves to the arena to compete.
Not necessarily. You might have competed at some scale. Like someone like what's her name? And I love this woman, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She's doing her thing at the World Trade Organization right now, right? I don't know if I would vote her for president. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know that she has a state in Nigeria, or something in Nigeria.
Why are you not giving? I'm not saying you're voting for what's his name? Obi. Why are you not giving Obi the benefit of doubt?
Because Obi has done something as a governor that people can go and look at.
No. Are you saying that Obi is more are you saying that Obi is more competent than Ngozi?
That's a tough one, my brother. That's a tough one. But I'm separating them. I'm saying Ngozi, I love her. She's been finance minister back in the day, right? She has been finance minister, but I'm saying she has not done anything like holding a public office in Nigeria. That would be the only reason.
She has led one of the biggest organizations in the world. So you understand what I mean?
I definitely understand you. I'm still saying that this is just me. I'm just saying because she has not held a public office in Nigeria, I wouldn't necessarily go for her.
That means you're only looking at the people in the arena. You understand what I mean? But if people outside the arena,
but that is just me, though. That is just me.
I understand. Yeah. But if people from the outside the arena push themselves forward and say, "Okay, now I look at Donald Trump." You understand what I mean? I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying he's a good is a competent person. You understand what I mean?
If we can skip past that one, that would be very helpful. TikTok,
Yeah.
Okay. That name.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a good debate.
All right. Thank you,
very
Mr. Anthony, and I appreciate you for joining. But Mr. K, make I see whether Mr. K don't request yet. Mr. K, now because of you, I host this show. We don't do 2 hours. We don't see you. Anyway, Mr. Anthony, now your brother, so Mr. Anthony go tell you scores. How we go. I appreciate you, Mr. Anthony, for joining. Mr. Oye, we'll get to you in a moment, but make we talk to person waiting for the queue, and so that you go there somewhat fair to them. And I appreciate them for their patience and time being here as well. Anyway, Mr. Rafiman, if you want to unmute yourself, please, let's talk about it. Mr. Rafiman, are you there? Mr. Omo George, if you mute to help me, all right, I'm just going to mute you here. Mr. Rafiman, are you there? All right, be like Mr. Rafiman, no day here. All right, we'll go drop so that we'll just keep the conversation going. Mr. Omo George, you're already unmuted, so let's talk about it. Turn by turn politics in Nigeria, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it brings progress. I don't think it brings development. Which side you there?
You want to force me to be on the other side, so
I'm not forcing you. I'm not forcing you, my brother. If you're with me, we cannot debate. So we'd have to keep it moving. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, well, hold on. Everything I'm gonna say doesn't represent my view. So I'm gonna try.
No, we want you to represent your view so that you know go push the post. We want you to really believe it. We want you to really believe it, like Mr. Oye now. I'm not saying really believer. So we want someone that really believes it so that we can have a good argument or debate, right?
Okay, let me be sincere with you.
All right.
You see, if you want someone that really believes in a kind of controversial topic like this in a public space, you won't find. Not because there are not people that believe in such. So Anthony came up and acted his script.
I believe in it.
Yeah, I know you. We'll get to you, Mr. Oye. We'll get to you, Mr. Oye. Make we hear Mr. Omo George.
Okay, yeah. For someone like me, since I'm standing on this post, I will tell you, if you cannot honor a simple gentleman agreement, you would default in a written contract. If turn by turn, a Milocon is not something you can honorably honor, you will have problem. We have many ethnic groups. As previous speakers have said about the stability of the country, it is extremely important that we should have a kind of situation in which, okay, it is the northern side that is to produce this thing, while the South does hope to vet the best they are going to present among them. It was the lack of ability to do that that destroyed the biggest political party in Africa called PDP. When a man called Atiku,
yeah, I think I understand this side you're going. And the PDP obviously they were adhering to the turn by turn thing. So me, I'm against it. I'm opposed to it. So the gentleman agreement, I don't think it's necessary in politics. It doesn't help we the people. It helps the political people because now them go to select who then go give us. I think it should be
the politicians
whoever.
are Nigerians. So I think the politicians are Nigerians, and I think they still have the same right.
Absolutely, but the political class are just a few Nigerians, right? And Nigerians are in the millions, in the hundreds of millions. The political class are just a few Nigerians.
The kind of hierarchy. You climb through the hierarchy to get to a distinct position in the political class. It's not something you wish from the bedroom. You walk with people from your street to your community before you get to the Al-Qaeda when you become a known figure. It's not something you just wish. So
yeah,
that is it.
Again, I understand that.
Belief.
I understand that. However, how does this relate to the turn-by-turn politics? How does it relate to that?
If you look at the kind of organogram, if you've gone through an organogram, you become distinct in a political setting. You represent probably a group of people. So an agreement from you, or when that group presents you, like you are representing us on turn by turn, you are representing almost the majority. It's a kind of democratic way of producing leaders. So, for example, the Southwest.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. How is it democratic if we're doing turn by turn? How is that democratic?
Okay, this is where the democracy comes in. Just like I said earlier about the gentleman agreement, in which probably the North understood clearly that it's the Southern tone. The Southern tone, the Southerners are concentrating on presenting the best among them, their finest.
Did they, and I'm going to steal an argument from Mr. Anthony, did they really understand that it was the South tone? Because Atiku was
That is
contesting.
why, okay,
Atiku is from the
that
North.
is why
So
I
did they
say
really understand?
when we have, you see, the beauty of adulthood is your ability to control your greed. When people don't control their greed and personal ambition overrules the general, interest of the society, people behave out of order. It was out of order for Atiku to put his head on that
All right,
issue.
fair enough. Do you agree that in this turn-by-turn politics, that the power is not rotating among the people, it's rotating among politicians themselves?
Politicians are Nigerians.
All right. You've made that point before. I agree with you. Politicians and Nigerians, definitely, but that's kind of a blanket. The political class, and I can also give my argument, my previous argument. The political class are just a handful of Nigerians. There is not a lot of them, right? It's just a handful of them. So if the power is rotating,
too.
if the power is rotating among them, how does it benefit the people?
Okay, this is how it benefits the people. Let me break it down. For you to go through that chain of becoming a distinct politician among your people, you've been tested over time. You've earned the trust of your people. There are people that can lay their life down for the likes of Atiku. They believe in him. So what he says counts to them. It can persuade them even when it's not comfortable for them.
So
like, okay,
I don't know. Atiku, in my opinion, might not be the best president or leader for Nigeria, and I have my own objective reasons for that. He held the privatization thing back in the day when he was vice president. We all know how the privatization policy, how that went, right? So if again you keep making the argument of, the politicians are Nigerians, these politicians, we've seen their past, we've seen what they've done, and that's why I keep saying two people from the South right now that I think are the, in my opinion, are the best governors overall in Nigeria as it stands. Oti and Sanwo-Olu, those two people. Say tomorrow they want to run for president, to become president of Nigeria, maybe president and vice. So now, because it's not the South turn, and both of them are from the South, because it's not the South turn, and they will also say, it's Southern, that one no go work. So because we've seen these two people and their track records, we're going to now just pick anybody that the political class presents to us, just like Buhari, and pick that person because it's the North turn.
Okay, just like the two-factor authenticator on your phone. You've talked about the two in the South that looks to be distinct. You've not mentioned brilliant minds like Duke, the former Calabar, governor in Calabar State. That man was brilliant. The likes of Fashola. So, if the South has that responsibility of producing the finest, we would triple filter them. The likes of Sanwo-Olu and the present Abia governor will be thrown in the mix. The process will filter them. The final person that emerge will be presented like, this is our best.
And I'm going to give you another, and I'm going to push back again on this, right? So you said when it finally comes back to their turn, when it finally comes back to the South turn, then we can push them. Let's say it finally comes back and we want to push them. This Tinubu has done 4 years, another 4 years. That we're looking at least 12 years, right? Before to come back to the South turn again with the current agreement. Add 12 years to these people's age right now. And that's what we're seeing with Tinubu. Maybe Tinubu would have done better if he was.
Are not yet born.
No, that's a very subjective statement.
We can always have the best. We can always have the best of people. People will always come from one generation. The Sam Mbakwe, they were the finest in the generation, and now we have the Otis of our generation. No generations will go without having its finest.
But why should it be a generational thing? Why shouldn't it be a cycle thing? Like each cycle, why shouldn't we have a new person with good brains in the next cycle? Why should we be waiting for a generation? Do you know the decay and deterioration? No. Look at Simon Mbakwe. You mentioned Simon Mbakwe. over 30, 40 years, right? Before now, we are seeing people like Alex Oti, right? In Abia State, in this whole of Southeast as a whole, right? Look at the deterioration that it has taken after Simon Bakwe. Simon Bakwe, I think it was Think Right, or Mr. Chris. He was listing out the things that Simon Bakwe developed in the Southeast region at the time. I'll name a few. Abia State University, a power station somewhere. He mentioned Ada Palm. There's a palm plantation, right? These things were led to dilapidate, deteriorate, like factories upon factories upon factories. The next people that came, they just left these things to deteriorate and dilapidate, right? So are you saying that there's the beautiful ones will come in the next generation? So we should just allow the continuity of this progress should not continue because of North and South turn by turn.
Okay, what I'm saying is this. The same way we have the Sami Bakwe in that era, we have Amadou Bello in the North. At every dispensation, they will always be the finest among them. It is narcissistic to believe it's going to remain in this region and it's only this region that can produce it. It is not democratic.
I don't know where the narcissism is coming from, and I don't recall me telling you that it should only stay in one region.
No.
Hear me out. I'm just saying that. Hear me out.
Talk to me.
Hear me out. I don't know where those two things came from, but the point I'm trying to make is, as a Nigerian, regardless of where you're from, I'm not saying you should come from only one region. I'm saying as a Nigerian, regardless of where you're from, it shouldn't be, we should wait for the next turn before the southern people contest or before the northern people contest. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, what I was saying, what I was saying is this. It will be narcissistic of us, probably, if the South have completed their term and we're expecting the North to produce their finest. It will be narcissistic of us in the South to think the North cannot bring somebody of quality, and vice versa. That is where I said, that's why I used that word.
Definitely. Thanks for clarifying that. And definitely, I agree with you on that. However, again, I think we're now going in circles. However, I think that because it's the political class that will now go and pick that person from the North, we don't see the finest. I'm not saying by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying that there are no fine, politicians in the North. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when it comes to the North Turn, another Tinubu will arise and say, El Rufai don't they bring 10 million sins. Make I go pick him. Regardless of El Rufai's antecedents. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of El Rufai's antecedents, whether he has good records or bad records, just because he has those numbers, another Tinubu will emerge and say, make I go align with him, make him president. And then after that one, it go be my turn. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mr. Kashi, I would not want to follow that line of thought because you have a voice. We should not discourage people that fine people can't go into politics. If the finest is allowed to participate, and we shift it from time to time, then people will be willingly, obliged to go into this kind of situation, into this kind of contest when it's their turn. That's just what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's an if because we've seen it happen. I'm not just making this up, right? We've seen it happen. If we keep sticking the current agreement or arrangement that we have of turn by turn, it's going to allow politicians to take advantage of it and keep selecting who they want, who they want there. It's not going to be us, the people that are selecting these people or that are picking these people. But if you want to have your final pushback so that we can move the conversation around.
My final pushback is everything I've said doesn't represent my candid opinion. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Omojo. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Oye, make we hear Mr. Oye. Me and Mr. Oye don't get this argument small too. So let us hear Mr. Oye. Mr. Oye, if you want to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Yes.
Good morning. I didn't know you were having the debate today or something.
Now your brother or Mr. K. Mr. K say, Kachi, I want to debate you on this. Now I no see him. I no see Mr. K again. I go prepare village. I don't see Mr. K.
I would have done a little bit of digging, bring some historical facts, and then we can then compare, because having these conversations make us understand that the reason why they are there in the first place. Now I understand your claims why Nigeria is why these things are happening. First of all, the reason why it's happening in the first place is because it's not constitutional, and that is why it looks as if it was failing. Now, the failure of the Nigeria, forget about what Atiku and OBJ did in the power sector when we are campaigning now. Forget about all those things. But the failure was a shift. That shift was destabilization. That destabilization happened because of one thing. Because that gentleman agreement was broken. It was not broken by Atiku when Atiku decided to contest. It was broken, and that is why I said the failure is because it's not constitutionalized.
So you're saying if it's constitutionalized, you think it would like we would be able to bring out better leaders?
My opinion is there's better leaders everywhere. So now, because a country is not run by the best of at the very top, that best at the very top cannot do anything. It cannot bring the best to the locals. So it's there to just roll out the policies. The locals are the ones that make the best out of it. So as I was saying, the moment Yaradua died, if it was constitutionalized, the next person that would have taken over would have been a Northerner. Now, that problem we got to have when after he left, after he died, that Jonathan took over, then this destabilization from the north intensified, and rightfully so, because the people are like, it was our turn. So now the insecurity went up. Now, Jonathan,
right. And you see how I think you're making my argument as well, because if you see, you're saying it is our turn, but let's even talk about Jonathan that they are grieving about. It wasn't his turn. Jonathan, whether you say it's because of oil price or it's not because of oil price, the GDP of Nigeria at the time during Jonathan was the highest it has ever been in Nigeria, right? So if that was an anomaly, and we've seen this anomaly bringing somebody from nowhere becoming president, and that person did good, why are we still talking about our turn?
No, okay, that is why it's very, very good, because now the concept of good is dependent on the beneficiary. What you think is good might be bad to me now, and that is where we always miss this concept of development. Yes, we all have this concept, it's development, but one of the best countries in Africa, I don't always count South Africa as Africa, right? And my argument for that
South Africa is African, that's for sure, though.
Yeah, it was developed by the West intentionally to have that's what the West do.
Regardless, Nigeria was also developed. Nigeria was also developed by the colonial masters, but whatever happened. But South Africa, make we not deflect from the topic,
Let's
right?
not go there. Let's not go there.
South Africa is an African country.
And that country that developed by themselves as an African country was Libya. Now, when you look at it, when Libya was massively developed by Gaddafi, he revolutionized the oil sector, and then when the oil boom happened, everybody had access to money. You receive money in your bank account when you want to get married, and then you do these things. But that's because he refused to understand that development is not just the benefit of good governance. Development is also inclusivity.
Okay.
In the United States of today, the most propagated policy is inclusivity before Donald Trump.
Okay.
The reason for that is because
you're mentioning America.
We take it back to Libya to quickly make that example of that. Now,
does Libya use turn by turn though? So that we don't go there.
Tell you.
Okay.
So they were successful. It was successful for a while. And the reason why it collapsed is the fact that he refused to drop that power to other tribes. So now the first coup that happened under Gaddafi was the Wadali, is it Wadali or Wadafi group, Wadafi tribe. Now Gaddafi is from the Gaddafi Qaddafi tribe.
Okay.
Now the other tribe, even though they had benefit to everything, exclusivity did not make them feel along. So now when you fail to understand that the biggest development you will ever have as human being is inclusivity.
All right, let's talk about inclusivity. Let's talk about that. I think I understand inclusivity.
Yeah, let me land it. Let me land the thought.
All right, if you want to land,
no
so
matter the bridges, the healthcare you build, at some it will collapse.
I hear you on that.
Oh, yeah,
let's talk about the inclusivity. Buhari is, let's say he's an inclusive DI. Let's call him DI hire, right? How did he help the northern people? And how did he? Can't we find somebody who can also be inclusive? DI, whatever you want to call it, right? Somebody who is also inclusive in that regard and has this idea of what development means to the people in the South, and also have the idea of what development means for people in. Can't we have that person at random? Because we've seen Buhari. Buhari, again, in my opinion, is the worst thing that happened to Nigeria, right? So if we keep going in this way of turn by turn, we might have another Buhari that's just going to sit there and take us back wherever we are. Do you understand that argument in terms of your inclusivity?
I understand the argument. Someone is saying in the comment section.
Leave comment now with the debate. Leave Mr. Oye. Mr. Oye, please ignore the comments, please.
Okay, yeah, let me just.
Or if you want to round up so that we'll go move forward, actually. If you want to round up so that we'll go move forward.
Okay. So you are saying that can't we find the best with the inclusivity? The answer is the only way to get that inclusivity is to understand the specificity of the nation.
Okay.
Now, Nigeria is multiple nations in a country. So now, as you are multiple nations in a country, everything you are building has to speak specifically to that. Meaning, it does not matter because these nations were already civilized before they joined them together.
Okay.
If they were not civilized before they joined them together, it would have been a different conversation in its entirety.
Right.
So because they were civilized before they were joined together, they had an ideology of what development looks like.
Okay.
What development looks like for you as a Southeasterner, the Southerners, and that was why it was Southern and Northern Protectorate. What development looks like for me and you is not what it looks like for the average Northerner. Now, my father grew up in Kaduna. They have the basic road, but those huge houses with that big roof is not what they call development for them.
All right.
The affordability of just. Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
development means the same for everybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, can't we find somebody that's smart enough from the South that understands what that development means for the South and what it means for the North? Why do we have to pick it from why do we have to make this inclusive? It just be that. I don't know how else to express it, but yeah. If you want to still round up on that thought, so that we'll go move forward.
The argument you are making is accurate, and that is why when it's the turn, and that is why I am proposing that we should constitutionalize it. Meaning, when it's the time of the South, the only people on the ballot paper will be Southerners. Meaning now, we will be able to deliver the best from the South.
All right.
Because what we are having now, because it's not constitutionalized, we deliver anyhow person in most cases because it's not constitutionalized. So what we have to do, because we still have to compete with another Northerner, or a Northerner has to compete with another Southerner. So you now then do the permutation of how do I win this election. You are not doing the permutation of who is the best person from this region. You are doing the permutation of how do I win this election. Right now, the permutation is how do I win this election from that, and that is why you see ADC people, they are like, oh, if Atiku is on the ballot paper, he will deliver the election. They are not having the conversation of, is Atiku the best candidate? Because it now becomes who delivers the election.
All right.
Because the people will vote, and voting is sentimental. Either you like it or not, it's sentimental all over the world.
Fair
Is
enough.
to you took that needle into people. Okay, what is the sentiment of these people? So if it is constitutionalized, that problem will be totally eliminated. So the South will always produce the best. So now, as the thought I was going on with, so now,
Mr. Oye,
those words that we
we're gonna
started
need you to round up so that I go. Mr. K, the main the co-host of today is here, so I need you to round up. Make I save the small energy because I'm approaching the 3-hour mark. I plan to be here today. So if you want to just round up on that.
So let me just round up. So now the destabilization that led to total failure of Buhari was a whole lot of the crisis from the South. We were having people rising up now, and those people that rose up was just because the simple agreement was broken. Atiku joined the race when he shouldn't have. Now, if it had continued with that progression, the time we started having insecurity, we wouldn't have had that amount of insecurity because they wouldn't be clamoring for that. And then by the time it got to the South, we wouldn't have that insecurity. So that stabilization that everybody has been preaching right from day one since that they were unable to articulate properly is the reason why the development and growth we achieved in that couple of years was totally eliminated within the space of a couple of years. So no matter what the development you are looking for, without that stability, which is the inclusivity of those nationals, Hausa, Igbo, Yorubas, and co,
Mr.
it
Oye,
will get destroyed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't want to push any more further because the small energy what I get, make I use and hold Mr. K. Make me and Mr. K get better arguments here, but I appreciate you for joining. Thank you so much. All right. Mr. Mike, unfortunately, we're going to need to skip you, and I plan to be here for 3 hours. I didn't expect to see Mr. K. Mr. K, I've said this a few times. Now, Mr. K prompted me to host this show today, and he's here now. So we're going to give him the round of applause. Thank you for joining, Mr. K. Let's get into it. I appreciate you. You caught me when I had already given not my best, but I've given some of my best points to other content, other people will come up. But anyway,
no.
We can do it.
We can do it in a short time.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
But the point is, I'm sorry, actually, I didn't know I was going to have an engagement at this time.
Don't apologize. That's okay. That's okay.
I'm fine. So I was looking at this, right? Me and you, I actually checked your podcast. You know, it was that podcast that you made that prompted this, right?
Yeah.
And the idea in my mind is, how would we have been without rotational presidency? It would have been disastrous. In my opinion, right? It would have been that a section of the country would have held on to power for forever. And the point is this, right? It's not that they want to do that, but because our cultural differences is so wide, right? For example, look at population. In the South, we are basically Western aligned in the South, right? Yeah. Most of us in the South will probably have 2 kids, well educated. Most of us in the South, at least, will have 1 wife, maximum 2. Do you understand? It's rare for you to see a Southern person having like 10 kids. Very rare. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but very rare. But all over in the North, it's more prominent. You can have somebody with 7 wives, have 30 kids. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And when it comes to democracy, it's a game of numbers.
Yeah.
It's not basically about competence when it comes to democracy. It's really about numbers. So you can have an incompetent person that has the numbers and the person will win.
Okay. So you're saying
that,
your argument here is that because you think they have the larger number compared to the South, you think they would always be bringing or producing the president.
they will always win. Yeah, they will always, because
but
at the
that
end
makes
of the
me
day,
to think that makes me to think that you believe that the northern people, they're all very monolithic, like they only get one way within the reason. That's not a very fair argument.
Well, when it comes to it's not about the fact that it's only one way. I'm looking at the fact that what's the basis of democracy? Is it not the highest number that wins?
It is, but I'm also saying, still on that, I'm also saying, yes, the highest number will win. But your argument is saying, oh, the North will always vote one way. Anytime their brother comes up, they'll vote. But that's not true, because we've seen it in the last elections. Tinubu became president. It wasn't because all the Yoruba people vote for him, or all the northern people vote for him, or all the South people vote for him. It was a mix of everything, right?
Yeah, you're well. That will be fine. That argument will be fine, and I subject to the argument. But you are trying to, when it comes to Nigeria, right? You are forgetting that there are three things that wins election in Nigeria, right? Three basic things, right?
Okay.
Religion, tribe, money. Those are the three things that make you win election in Nigeria.
Okay.
Religion, tribe, and money. We are first of all, most times we are first of all our tribe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are first of all, that tribal identity has not been broken in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
I don't think it will be broken anytime soon, because we are not even doing, I don't see anybody trying to bring that cohesion together.
But talking about the tribe, don't you also think that this turn by turn thing, it reinforces tribalism? It makes tribalism still a thing actively in Nigeria, because when you say, it's the North turn, then you're making other tribes say, oh, what of us, what of us, what of we will never do.
Well, I think it fosters national unity. Yeah, I think it fosters national unity, because at the end of the day, you are sure that, okay, it is the turn of the North. Okay, let's leave them.
All right.
Do your thing, right?
Let me
the
just
fact that it will come to the turn of the South in 8 years.
Let me go back to
Let
me go back to the previous argument we had about, the North always having numbers and stuff. I just had one argument I was going to make then we'll come back to the national unity. If that was the case, Buhari would have always been president. Buhari could not be president without Tinubu. If that was the case, Kwankwaso would have become president. Kwankwaso got just 1 million votes. 1 point some million votes. So that is not necessarily the case. Again, that makes me believe strongly that the northern people are not monolithic. They don't think in one direction. They have a various diverse people there, diverse thoughts. It's just diverse there. Regardless of how we from the South, I believe most of us from the South, we have this feeling that the northern people are, one way. But it's not necessarily true. We can see this in the polls. Tinubu became president. Some people voted for him from there. Kwankwaso, only 1 million people voted for him. Even Buhari, that has always gotten the 12 or 10 million votes, he couldn't be president as well. That was just the pushback. Do you have any other pushback on this before we go back to unity?
When you talk, when you look at that Buhari time, there are probably other Northerners that are competing with him.
Okay. That still makes my point. That makes my point too, that they are not monolithic, right? Some people still disagree with him, right?
When you have only one, when you have only one that you're sure that, okay, this guy is there. Then at the end of the day, they will vote. Look at what is happening presently. Look at what is happening presently. Look at what's happening. The reason why we are having this South-North tension is because everybody is believing that, oh, this guy, you have done 8 years. Then let it be the turn of the South. Let us produce the best. Let the best of our best come out.
Okay, let me agree with you. Let me agree with you that the South now say, let us produce our best. Okay, we've brought our best. Tinubu, right? Tinubu don't give us tax reform, which I'm going to agree with you, is a very good policy. Student loan, very good policy. Coastal roadway, good thing that he's doing. All the other good stuff. Where Tinubu they do, right? All the other good stuff. Then tomorrow now we'll come bring another Buhari because it's the North turn. How does that help us?
Then we can now start strengthening that side, that we should produce the best from that side. We can strengthen that argument. then give us the best from that side. Then, for example, when it's now the turn, for example, look at what is happening now, right? We are saying the turn of the South, right? And we are bringing Obi and Tinubu, right? Which it might not be the best of the South, but at least seemingly those are the two arrowheads that we are seeing, right? Obi and Tinubu, which we can arguably say they are our best now, right? We can do the same thing for the North. We can set the North that, okay, bring your two best, and we are going to decide whichever one is going to be.
Fair enough.
It will not exceed that 8 years. So it will give us that fairness, like, okay, let them do their 8 years. At the end of the day, it will come to our turn. Then even within the South, we can even have that agreement that, okay, we have three regions in the South, right? Okay, you do 8 years. The next time it's coming to the South is going to be South-South. The next time it's coming to the South is going to be South. So that gives that fairness and inclusivity and makes the tension reduce, in my opinion, though.
All right, fair enough. And I could just try move on unless you have any pushback on this. I'm going to move on back to unity by saying, we the Southern people, I think we underestimate ourselves. And I say this because of what you said initially. You said, you were making the point of, the numbers in the North. How did they marry plenty, they born plenty. I think we underestimate our numbers. If you look at, again, Tinubu and Obi, combined waiting two of them bring now 14 million. Even Buhari could not bring 14 million. He needed help from the South to get whatever number he got. I think we underestimate ourselves. And again, not one region, whether we say it's not, whether we divide it into two, like South and North. One region, in between the South and North, cannot single-handedly just produce a president. Yeah. I don't believe that.
I agree with that point. I agree with that point. One region cannot produce a president.
Yeah, absolutely. You need help from the other side. Anyhow.
I agree. It has never happened before in Nigeria that one person brought. But I'm just saying it's not. It has never happened. Like you said, it has never happened before that one region will dominate. Do you understand what I'm talking about? It has never happened before in Nigeria. No. Even Obi, most of the vote Obi got are from the South, right? And he got a large chunk of it from the North too. You are underestimating North Central that voted for Obi. North Central people voted for Obi in the last election.
Yep. And they are the North. They are part of the North, right? That's why I said they are not monolithic. These people, they are diverse.
That's why I said. You remember I said how to win election in Nigeria, religion.
Yep, that too.
90% of those that voted, let me not say 90% because I don't have the statistics, but majority of those that voted Obi in the North were Christians, remember?
Fair enough.
It won majorly in the Christian middle belt.
Fair enough.
So that tells you that if you remove, if you combine this total vote from the South, is it up to the vote that came from the North?
But look at the single northern person that contested too. Okay, we can argue what's his name? Atiku.
Which means that if you have a northern guy that is able to catch Northwest, Northeast, and North Central, he will most likely be president.
But until then, if that northern person is not Buhari, I don't have a problem with that.
Buhari couldn't break into the North Central. Basically, it was the majority of his vote are just from the core North, Northeast, and Northwest. Most of those in North Central is always divided. The Christian side. Yeah. So that's why Buhari couldn't have won. But if you have a president, right? If you have a president that could harness that northern bloc, including the North Central, they will always win.
That means that president would definitely be better than Buhari. And I can also argue that, again, because of religion, the Christian people in the North Central, they didn't trust Buhari. And for good reasons. Yeah. See how he run Nigeria aground. Anyway, you said unity, that you like the unity of the country. Do you prioritize unity over progress, over development? And Mr. Oye, he was here earlier. He said, what development, I'm going to paraphrase here, the development, what it means to you does not mean the same thing to the next person. So whatever that development is, do you prioritize unity over progress or development?
Well, you need unity first to promote progress, actually, and development. You need unity. You have to be united first for you to even think of developing. Because when you are check all the countries that are in war now, they're developing. No. So you need that unity first. So I'll probably prioritize unity because once you are united, then you can begin to develop. Once you are united, you can begin to develop.
But
So
we've seen how far.
Unity first.
We've seen how far this unity has brought us, right? The unity has, since we've been doing this North-South unwritten law, how far has our unity been enhanced, right? We've still seen our brothers in the Southeast talking about Biafra, the people in the Northeast doing Boko Haram and all that good stuff, right? So
because there's still that line. There's still that line that we've not seemingly seen a national leader. A very national leader. I think the best we had to a national leader was Obasanjo. I think the best we had, to be honest, right? Even this present administration have not been, and this is my own personal opinion, right? And it doesn't, this is my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Forget that might be this thing, right? I've not seen that it came on a regional, I see more as a regional force. Do you understand? That's my personal opinion. Every other person can see him, or just like I see Obi as a regional force, I see Buhari as a regional force. The only seemingly person that can be nationalistic was Obasanjo still.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I think I agree with you that as well.
I've not seen a national leader. We've not had the opportunity to have even when we go to the First Republic, Awolowo was a regional guy. Yeah. Sudana was a regional guy. I don't know much about the person in the East, which is what's the name?
Zik was actually a Pan-Africanist. He wasn't even a Nigerian.
Nigeria,
Obviously,
right?
he was promoting Pan-African, not just So obviously, he was a Pan-Nigerian.
We've not been able to grow to that. To have somebody that can bring everybody together. And I know it will take a long time. It will take serious leadership skill.
And this is where I actually fault Tinubu, because in my opinion, I believe that Tinubu has the opportunity to make all these things. Tinubu is, he's on his way out, right? Like in terms of life, he's on his way out. Like
he's on 78.
He's not going to be here in 20
whatever.
years. He's not going to be here in 20 years. He has made a ton of money. So with all these factors, you would, even though I don't agree with him entering, becoming president, I know, so I'm not a Tinubu supporter. However, the least Tinubu could have done was to become this national guy that you're talking about. But he's missing that opportunity.
Yeah, there are other factors too that will be pulling you as a leader. But if you have come, or how many people voted Tinubu, to be honest? When you combine, let me tell you something. In that last election,
over 8 million people voted him.
No. More people wanted him out. Yeah, more people wanted him out than the people that wanted him in. If you combine Obi and Kwankwaso and Atiku together, if you combine that population, it means that more people wanted.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Wanted APC out.
Mr. Mike, please mute yourself, Mr. Mike.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
More people wanted him out, so he came to power with 30-something%. Not even a C, not even a D. Pass mark is 40. So it's not really like, it's not like the whole Nigeria. It's not like Obasanjo. When Obasanjo came in, at least Obasanjo, the only people that didn't vote Obasanjo was the Southwest. Every other region voted him, which tells you that, well, to a large extent, it was is accepted. At least he had more than over 50%.
Yeah. But that still kind of reinforces my argument, though, that Tinubu is missing the opportunity of, in spite of these people not wanting me, I go help them bring this country together, all this unity, nationalism, I'm going to reinforce it and enforce it. Let it be, if not my only legacy, let me do it.
Yeah.
And he has the opportunity to do it, but he's not doing it.
I think most people have that. For example, Jonathan had that opportunity. Because before that can happen, we need to sit down. That constitution that we are running on, Kachi, right, is a fraud. There's nowhere we sat down and said, we the people. There is nowhere.
In Jonathan's defense, he had a confab.
Yeah.
You can agree or disagree with whatever was the outcome.
Unfortunately, Buhari said it was going to be on the shelf, and it was on the shelf for 4 years.
8 years.
For 8 years.
Yeah.
Nothing. No matter how terrible that confab is, right, to Buhari at that time, there are still some things that are nice. You can't just throw things away. And that's the problem we have in Nigeria. That's the problem I have with political class in Nigeria. The fact that, because this guy is not from my party, whatever he has done is rubbish.
Yeah.
Remember,
I mean, that's politics in the world anyway. That's politics in the world. That's politics in the world.
Yeah, but then it's not helping us. It's not helping us. It's not helping us in Nigeria. It might be helping those that are developed already. That there's nothing to add. I mean, it's not helping us.
Absolutely. Let me give you my next argument though. But sorry, you're saying something. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was saying Obasanjo too had that opportunity. He did one confab or whatever at that time, national something, and they said he chipped in third term agenda into it. That was why they threw everything away.
Yeah.
Right? The same thing Jonathan too. Jonathan did it and the opposition said, no, we are not going to have anything to do with it because we are not part of it. But that doesn't mean that there are no good things. There are some good things that are in that policy that can help us.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Bola Tinubu is not even seeing it that way too.
Yep, sadly. But anyway, make I move to the next argument, and this might be the last argument here. The argument is politicians are the ones winning because at the end of the day, and I'm going to use Tinubu and Buhari as a case study. At the end of the day, we are not the one picking this turn-by-turn politics that we are currently practicing. We are not the ones selecting these people. Tinubu, for instance, he saw an advantage and he saw an opportunity and he took advantage of it. He saw somebody in the north, Buhari, and I don't know why any sensible person would vote for Buhari, but he's been getting that 12 million votes, and Tinubu saw that opportunity. Say, this man, make I go give him small votes, make him win election, become So you see, it's politicians that win, not the people that win when you do this turn-by-turn thing. What do you think about that?
At the end of the day, it's still politicians that you vote into power anyway. I mean,
but
that's why we need to have this culture. And I fault the leadership recruitment in Nigeria. We have a very terrible leadership recruitment in Nigeria. And that's the truth. We have a very terrible leadership recruitment. The fact that somebody like the system doesn't chunk out the best. And it all boils down to so many factors. For example, our education. And I keep making the argument, Kachi, to enter university in Nigeria, all you need is just a mere 140. When you do school, now 140 you they get to enter uni. And that's why you see the quality of people that we are chunking out now.
Yep.
All our boys now, the only drug and all these things that they talk about. Go there, but all the people we're supposed to read, they do TikTok, they shake cash.
Yep. I plan to hold somewhat of a debate like this to target young people, but I don't know if I would be able to catch them because I believe all of them there for TikTok. But I plan to hold debates like this to kind of pick their brain and see what's in there.
Recently in Ottawa, right? Recently in Ottawa, in Ontario, you have to now write exam. Because they are seeing that things are not going well. We are seeing interviews where they are not really measuring up. We are seeing the things that are going into the university. They are not measuring up. So they're already tackling that leadership problem in this. So they now said, okay, if you're in grade 12 from year 12 to from year 9, grade 9 to 12, you now have to write exam. All right, so that they can tighten up that place. But in Nigeria, instead of them to say, okay, 200, we are now saying 140. How do you want somebody that had 140?
Yep.
To go and give you something better?
Absolutely.
Those are the people that will get to leadership positions at the end of the day.
At some point in the future.
At some point.
Yeah.
And so you will begin to say Nigeria is not good.
Yep.
But then the problem has been from the beginning.
Yep. But Mr. K, do you have any arguments for me? Make I see whether if you push back and before we call it a day.
But again, one thing again I see again is this. I think when it encourages decentralization, and I see that happening in Tinubu's tenure, right? He's trying to decentralize some things. For example, police academy. For example, the army. You understand? So I think when it helps people to have a sense of belonging. One of the problems that I see in the South is that we are not really united as a South.
Yeah.
Unlike the North, they are always like, but the South, we have too many competition and it's really, really making us at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But sadly. I think conversations like this need to be had for people to see things somewhat differently. I think more of these type of conversations need to be had between the southern people.
I think at the end, And I will round up with this. I think at the end of the day, we need to have that. Everybody is running away from it, but at some point, we need to have that conversation. We, the people, we, the people, have to sit down and say, okay, we, the people, did this thing. Are we going to run a democracy of regional provinces and all the rest like that, or we want to do this unity kind of thing so that everybody can come together and that kind of thing, or we want to run it like, okay, every region go and sort yourself out and pay a little bit to the government. We need to have that conversation, but everybody is running away from it, and there won't be development without that. There won't be, because whatever you build on lies will always collapse. If the foundation is faulty, no matter how you try to patch it will collapse. And that's what we're saying in Nigeria. That foundation of we the people, the constitution that 4 people or 6 people or 20 people came together and just wrote. That's the problem of our country, and that's why you see various pushback. If we had been okay, everybody, you have 250 tribe, right? Okay, each tribe give us one person, or give us two people. Do you understand?
To do what actually?
To write, of course. If for example, something they did during Jonathan's time now. Jonathan went around and I think every local government had a person in that confirm, including civil societies and the church and all the rest of that. And they come up with a document. That is the best, to be honest, right? That is still the best document we've ever had in Nigeria. In recent times.
I hear you, but my only pushback on that is, that person now might not know my own pain points, right? That person feed the talk in own pain points and some general pain points that doesn't necessarily apply to me.
But you will have stakeholders now. You have stakeholders meeting now. Somebody will not just, there is not one person. For example, in Ekiti now, they will have a stakeholders meeting in Ekiti. Okay, this is what we think. Then after Ekiti, then the whole 6th state of the Southwest will come and harmonize it and bring it into one document. The same thing for North Central, the same thing for South, like that. And at the end of the day, then those 6 documents will now come together at the central place, right? And they will debate it. That will have worked.
I don't know. I just think it's more, this idea is just like a group chat thing. Nigeria is bigger than that. Nigeria needs to have competent, my opinion is we need competent leaders. If we have a competent leader, all these confab this, confab that, we're not going to talk about them. But I see and understand what you're saying though.
All right, thank you so much. Let me give some time, and I know you're tired.
Yeah, I'm definitely out of steam now. I'm not gonna lie, but I appreciate you, Mr. K. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we have 2 guests here, Mr. Jamie. Obviously, I know if he see you for the thing they request, and I won't bring you up, so I had to bring you up. And then Mr. Mike. We're gonna get to Mr. Mike first, and then come to Mr. Jamie. I appreciate everybody with you here. Thank you guys so much. Me and Mr. K, now we get the show today, and we've had that conversation, debate, argument, whatever you want to call it. We've had that. We've had good arguments as well. We've had with Mr. A, Mr. Oe, Mr. Anthony, I believe. Anthony, I think that's his name. That was a very good debate we had. Shout out to Mr. Anthony. We had with I don't know, J-Con, no one stay one place. He one day here and here. We couldn't have the conversation. But we had with Mr. Omo George as well, and a few other people we've had. My brain they go off in terms of debating, and but we'd have to continue anyway with Mr. Mike, but it wouldn't be more of a debate. Mr. Mike, we're just gonna hear you give a submission sort of, and then go from there. If I have any pushbacks, I'll come in here and there, but it's not gonna be an intense conversation or debate style that I've had all this while. But I appreciate you for your patience. If you want to unmute yourself, let's hear about it. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, for sure. Just listening. I'm 26.
Okay. Thank you for joining.
I'll say, yeah, of course. I'll say this. I'll say the whole turn by turn thing, I don't agree with it. I think it does more harm than good. I believe that the best candidates should present themselves no matter where they come from. Voting on religion, voting on tribe, it hasn't done anything for us in these almost 60 years now of independence. It hasn't really done anything for us. So I think our approach and our mindset as a society has to change towards our leaders, and also even doing background checks on the people who are our leaders. Obviously there are certain things that, like the current president Tinubu, there's certain files about him, drug trafficking or whatnot, forfeiting. almost
Yeah,
$500 million to the United States.
those were not proven in court. So
Right.
we can't push that out unless they are
Right,
proven in
right,
court. Then
right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But
just
background check has never been a basis though to elect any president.
it should though, don't you think? Credentials and just like the person's background and their history, because all those things end up coming up to light at some point.
Fair enough. I think fair enough. I agree with you. But it should be the citizens doing the background check, not like an
For sure.
official, background
100%.
check. And if the citizens do that background check and be like, this person has questionable past, the citizens themselves should say, no, this is not the person for us. So it shouldn't be like an official, you go do thumbprint and all that good stuff. This is just me thinking anyway.
Yeah, I agree, man. But I do think that we definitely, more conversations like this need to happen across the board.
Absolutely.
That's what is, and I think it'll orientation almost, sensitize our people of what's going on, and just have conversations to not only understand each other, but to get a better feel of each other's reality, because
Absolutely.
my reality in the South in Pawtucket might be really a completely different reality from someone in Ogun State or in Kaduna. Is different, but the thing that binds us together is, Nigeria is our country.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what can we do to, make put our foot forward globally?
Yep.
I think a lot of countries in Africa in general look up to us as a big brother almost.
Yeah.
I've heard so many quotes of people saying the day that Nigeria wakes up, Africa won't be the same. And I think that will set a precedent.
Not really. I think that narrative has started changing. It has started evolving because we've seen recently the Ghanaian president. He says he's rooting for us, not because he thinks that the day we wake up is the day that they're going to wake up. No, he's saying that he's rooting for us to succeed, because if we don't succeed, then we're going to start running to this country. So it's not that narrative has evolved. So now we're almost like the laughing stock,
Exactly. It has changed. It has changed.
Yeah.
But I'll say, like, people already having that kind of respect, or you're Nigerian. Oh wow, like, we're the most educated immigrant group in the United States. That's not by just chance, or we have smart, educated lawyers. We come to the United States or England or Canada, become lawyers, nurses, doctors, and actually have an impact in societies here, So if we can do the same back home,
those are just individualistic or individual things, right? Individual successes. It doesn't replicate to the general state of the country, because if that's the case, also back home in Nigeria, the average Nigerian has I would say a BSc, right? The average Nigerian has a BSc, or at least high school diploma, secondary school diploma, right? So how has that translated in Nigeria? It's not just in America that we're educated. We're also educated in Nigeria. We have doctors, we have whatever it is, we have them in Nigeria. So why have we not translated that into leadership?
That falls into, that falls into the corruption and just the things that have happened in the country. I don't know if it's a society, in as much as it is political and governance. Also, the society also as well plays a part into that.
Absolutely.
People go to school. They do their NYC.
Yeah.
They get done and they don't have a job. They have to do certain things. And that's how people turn to criminality, or certain things that they shouldn't be into because of.
But unemployment is not unique to Nigeria, though. So this is this is an individual thing. If someone chooses to go become a criminal, that's that person's choice. It's not because of no job. Unemployment, even wherever, America, Canada, unemployment is a global thing. So if Nigerians decide, there are no jobs, and then I'm going to go become a criminal, that's a choice that person is making. It's not because of Nigeria.
Do you think that the government has a responsibility to that, though?
They have some responsibility, but for the most part, the most responsibility should go to the individual, not the government.
Yeah, and that kind of falls into what I was mentioning as far as society. Our society, how we think. Sometimes, like, I think our generation or our society is like anything for money or whatever they can do for the quickest, naira, and that also opens so many doors of different, negative things.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I do think, like, again, like I said, like, having conversations like this and understanding perspective and just orientation, having that orientation of let's figure it out. Let's put the foot forward and having the initiative to, better our country and better ourselves as a people.
Absolutely.
I think we'll definitely start seeing progress if we can stick to that.
Absolutely. Conversations like these are definitely very important and needed. But thank you, Mr. Mike. Make we move forward.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your patience and everything.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you. All
Keep
right.
doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mr. Mike. Thank you so much. All right. Make I just shout out some people and then we'll come to Mr. Jamie in a moment. True News, my brother. Thank you for joining, my brother. He said power is never taken, it's negotiated for. Bam. And I agree with you on this. I believe me and you are on the same page on this because if power is negotiated, why are we doing north and south? Not turn, south, turn. Why are we doing that? I agree with you, Mr. True News, my brother. Power should be negotiated. Not, is this person turn? Is north turn? Is south turn? Then when you come to the south, you say, is southeast turn? Is this man turn? Come on now, that's childish that's childish. Anyway, make a shout out these people here. We don't give me Mr. True News. True News, my brother, I greet you. Thank you so much for the roses. Mr. A-Town Lag, thank you so much for the rose. Simon, thank you so much for the roses. Lebia Petit, thank you for the oldies. Lebia Petit, thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Simon Templar, thank you. Greater Me, thank you. Mr. Savi, thank you. Kende, Paparazzi one, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate you. Simon Templar, thank you. Think Right, thank you. Moko Freelance, thank you, and all the other people, beautiful people who don't gift me here so far. Let me also go to Facebook and shout these beautiful people out, right? We have Kende Babajide. He says, especially between these two people. Love this debate. Thank you so much, Kende. Thank you so much. Stability over competence. I don't know, man. I don't agree with you but on that one, but I thank you for being here, Mr. Kende. He says, stability over competence. No, I want competence, man. Hey, man, I don't want to curse. Make TikTok no vex for me. But hey, competence any day, man. Leave stability. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Kende. I appreciate you for being here. Kende, thank you so much for the stars you sent me on Facebook. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. He says, I must say I love Mr. Anthony's arguments. Absolutely. Mr. Anthony made good arguments. I'm not even going to deny that. Absolutely. He made good arguments. All right. He says, Harry, allow me to connect. Harry Mantisa TV. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing your chat. You can only connect on TikTok. We can't bring you up on Facebook, Harry Mantisa, if you're here. And by the way, we've almost come to the end of the show anyway, so we can't even bring you up at this point. But thank you for joining. We only connect via TikTok, not Facebook. Facebook, not just audience. You just be in Facebook and listening. And I appreciate you for being there, Harry Mantisa. I appreciate you. He say only Yoruba people are comments. Oh man, I don't know, man. You see that tribal thing that they talk about. Now this North and South, then they reinforce, they enhance this tribalism what they talk about. Before you know, it's only Yoruba people, it's only Hausa people, only Igbo people have no rule. These are, oh man. Hey man, listen, we need to grow out of that. We need to grow out of that mindset. And this North and South, turn by turn, we need to move away from that to help us with this move away from tribalism. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys for being here. Demola Olabi, appreciate you. Sammy Onuma, okay. Mr. Sammy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back to it. Mr. Jamie, thank you so much for joining. If you want to unmute yourself, please, let's talk about it.
Yeah, Kachi. I mean, it's like, when am I going to say Kachi phone?
Kachi phone at night, Good night. Kachi phone at good night, yeah.
Yeah. So, I've been in and out, and I think there was network issues at the point.
See.
So I couldn't.
Sorry about that.
I saw myself I was on a box, but I couldn't even see myself.
Yeah, I was having some issues too. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting topic, and then so basically it's ideally people don't really want to debate against meritocracy because the opposite of meritocracy is not, I mean, it's just an open and closed case. But meritocracy, will really apply in an ideal situation. So is Nigeria an ideal situation? That is the problem. I mean, that is where the conversation comes, because Nigeria has not been an ideal situation from the time we got independence. The tribal champions, the tribal warlords, sees the angle of the place they can mobilize their people, because the background was like, who are those to replace the colonial masters? So the battle has been fierce. It didn't start today. So that is why Nigeria does not have an ideal situation. If it's an ideal situation, as a matter of fact, this debate is not supposed to hold because we'll be looking at how to increase efficiency, build on merit, and all that and all that.
Yep.
But because we are not in an ideal situation, I just want to put myself in this uncomfortable position of arguing for turn by turn. I don't really believe in it, but for the purpose of this, for this engagement.
Yeah. Thank you. You cannot even get the best of me because I've given my all, but I'll try my best to push back. Let's hear it.
I don't know whether you're ready for this. Our people say, now turn by turn, I make a show where they make profit. Because we are talking about a system, a chaotic system where every things are not designed in order for people to know when it is appropriate, for them to put their energy. So there will be a whole lot of chaos. I'm not talking of war. I mean, somebody said war, but not like war.
Yeah.
But there will be chaos, and you don't know what this chaos leads to.
Yeah.
So in the Nigeria, which has not been an ideal situation, we've faced the prospect of trying to see what could work for us. And then one of the reasons that turn by turn comes is the reason for fear of dominance. People want to protect their independence, their identity, and whatever thing they want to hold dear to themselves. And they want to have a sense of belonging. You understand? So that is why this turn by turn thing, by whatever name, it's not turn by turn, they can call it different names. Different names are location, zoning, and whatever thing. So it is still turn by turn, by my understanding. So now, turn by turn kills merit, but again, there is a way you can also, like you said, the regions could also put the best step forward. Argue on merit on their own, then put out of merit, they now bring the most competent person forward.
Yeah.
You see, in 1999, Nigeria was kind of blackmailed. No, not blackmailed. Nigeria wanted to right the wrong of the June 12 election.
Yeah.
And they put two Yoruba people forward for election. This, for the first time in this country, we've not had that. The military have tried it. They put a couple of people, they throw them in, and then before you know it, they start aligning again.
Yeah.
Tribe and this, and then the thing does not really. It was not like it didn't really work spectacularly well. There was always a conflict, a bigger conflict. I think maybe that is the reason. By that reason, that is why Nigeria adopted this. It's not even constitutional. It's an informal arrangement. A gentleman understanding. So okay, it's going to stay here. You put your best, and then it's going to stay here. But you see, there is no sincerity. Turn by turn could be good if there is sincerity. It's not a winner take all.
Yeah.
For instance, under the present government or under the past government of Buhari, there was nepotism because it's your turn. So it means that everything, every sensitive thing, has to be domiciled in your side.
Yeah.
And then he has come to another turn, and then they are doing the same thing. So that is the danger of the turn by turn.
Yeah.
But basically, turn by turn is not supposed to be that dangerous if we abide by merit on the process of who's representing a particular region. Because, like I said, where I live, they don't practice turn by turn. You understand? It's about the best person, the best food is put.
Yeah.
And then I think they achieve a lot more than turn by turn. But if you are in, it's a drastic situation, demands drastic actions. So Nigeria is not an ideal situation. Yeah,
but it's not working though. It's not as if it's working. Like you said, where you live, they don't practice turn by turn, and it's working for them. The turn by turn for Nigeria, it's not working. You're even making an argument for me. You say, when Buhari was president, he domiciled sensitive things for inside because it's his turn. Now, Tinubu don't enter. He don't domicile things again for the South because it's South turn. So everybody's waiting for their turn. Make them bring everything, come their side. You see what I'm saying? So it's not working even.
Yeah. So I think I cannot help looking at the other side of the picture. You understand? Even though I'm arguing for turn by turn, I can't help looking at. Like I told you, it is not I mean, it is not a very common argument point for you to argue against meritocracy. You know, and then because the opposite of meritocracy is what we have. You understand?
Yep.
Where you have somebody made an example of students getting 240, no, the 140 over 400, over 400 is not over 300, and they are getting admission. You understand? So 120, 120, and then you know when we go to school, if you get 50%, it's like you've not gotten a credit pass.
Yep.
So you're not going to be, because that is average. It means you're average on 50%. But here you're having 140 over 400.
Yep.
You are not anywhere close to 100, which is the average.
Yep.
Which is supposed to be the average. And then so basically, ideally, I will argue for meritocracy. But in Nigeria, because if this was not practiced, possibly we don't even know whether Nigeria is going to survive like this. We've seen what happened in Zimbabwe. Probably if the Mugabe was the most competent person as at the time, they were not whatever thing. And then you get one competent person who was more like a one-eyed man. Go and live there forever. Look at the example of Cameroon. I just still believe that no matter how bad Nigeria is, we are still better than those two countries I've mentioned. We can discuss the state of the nation. We can lament. We can call out. We can curse. But the neighboring Cameroon here, they don't do that, and they've had democracy longer than us. Our military government was even more liberal than the Cameroon democracy. I'm not saying that is a benchmark for us to compare ourselves. We have better places to compare. But again, I'm just saying here that the zoning, the turn-by-turn arrangement is a way of maybe, it's not the best in terms of administration, it's not the best way of administration, but it's a way of maybe stability. Making people to feel, look, So that's the only thing I have about it. I'm not too convinced I should debate
on this, right? Or against it, right?
Take this position, but
But and one thing that most people have said here is the stability, and I don't understand. Well, obviously, I know kind of where you are on this topic, but why would you prioritize stability over progress and development? If you're stable and everything, dollar is 10,000 naira, $1 is 10,000 naira. What is that doing for us, right? What is that doing for us? Anyway, that's my thoughts. But if you have a final thought before we move forward and call it a day for the day, that would be nice.
So my final thought is that, I mean, what works for the people should be painfully examined and practiced. Like even democracy. Does democracy really work for us? We are talking about leadership here. And then leadership, we are confiding, I mean, we are limiting it to democracy. You understand? There are various ways by where leaders can emerge. So Nigeria is not a very ideal situation for us to copy hook, line, and sinker what is practiced elsewhere. You understand? And we've seen certain examples, like in Burkina Faso, not today, of Thomas Sankara. We've seen Ghana during the time of Rawlings and stuff, where benevolent dictatorship was able to lay a groundwork for the country to progress. Ghana used to close them during Rawlings. I mean, they closed offices midday and asked people to go back to farm. And today, what Rawlings and the rest of them built is where they have the level of that stability they have today. So I believe their democracy might build on those things. But we didn't have that. We didn't have that privilege. Absolutely. So that's why we are still doing the turn by turn.
Absolutely.
That's my final thought.
Absolutely.
Thank you for always bringing up very good, issues for discussion.
Appreciate it, Mr. Jimmy. Appreciate it.
I understand you say you want to talk to the younger people. So
but not today. Obviously, I don't reach my threshold. 3 hours these days is my threshold for coming live.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, because you are not going to have them unless you are talking relationship. It's difficult to get that demographic to make this kind of
to engage them like this. I mean.
It's
and I don't blame them. I became conscious like this when I was 22, 23. I don't blame them either. I became conscious when I was 22, 23. When I did do my IT for school then.
Kashi, when I went to university, the school campus was divided. Once you step into that place, it was divided into two. We were die-hard socialists. We read books upon books, listened to lectures. We had Marxist professors. You understand? So the consciousness was on another level. So they don't really have an excuse. It's just like
fair enough.
They don't have an excuse.
Fair enough.
And I was 19, 20. I became politically conscious.
I was 22, 22 maybe, 22, 20, 22. Yeah, when I became socially, politically conscious. So yeah, I'm kind of cutting them some slack because easy, easy being that to make that transition of seeing life differently. You've been a child all this while, and then you just make that transition of saying, "Who politics they happen? What's going on? Who is the governor? Who is this? Who is that?"
I think we are still responsible because I don't always like to this age generation gap thing. We are still there's a disconnect because they have lecturers who are part of us, part of the elite.
True.
So what exactly are they engaging them with outside studies?
True.
So how are they mentoring them?
True.
About how to cut corners, sell handouts, sleep with their female parts. That was not common when I was going to school. We didn't really know it. There was merit. You understand? Maybe paying for marks and stuff could have been done, but a lot of us didn't know it because we had to read to pass our exams. So I'm not holding them wholly responsible for the rot we have today. But their interest is different from what we are discussing today. We'll talk about whiskey or
Mr. Jimmy, they dissuade me. It's dissuading me completely. Say, can't you forget that side?
No, just give it a try. So
I might give it a try. I might.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Back in Nigeria, I've had a couple of young people who drop out of school, and then the parents try to ask me to find out why the guy went to school. They paid school fees for him. He was not attending classes. 3, 4, 5 years down the line. Ask him, what do you want to do? So he wants to be a producer. So people are like this that are influenced by Don Jazzy.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But anyway, Mr. Jemmy, make we round up and call it a day for the day. But I appreciate you for joining, Mr. Jemmy. Make a shout out to people where they here like we always do. Shout them out because they matter. And then we call it a day for today. But I appreciate you guys, all the speakers today, Mr. Jemmy, Mr. Anthony, Mr. Oe, Mr. K, obviously, now because of where we host this show today. So Mr. K, Mr. J-Con they call me low comprehension. Person we don't understand basic thing, they call me low comprehension. But anyway, shout out to you too for joining. I appreciate you. And who else? I can't remember now off the top of my head, but I appreciate all the people who came on today and had that agreement or disagreement. I appreciate all of you guys. And to the people in the chat, we have Baba T. He says representation is as important as meritocracy. I don't know. That's a good argument, obviously, but I don't know. Representation. Yeah, you represent, but that's why there's a federal character, right? If we bring somebody from anywhere in Nigeria, that's why there's a federal character. Then you can do your representation that way, in that regard, right? But to use representation, look at what representation did to us with Buhari. I keep using Buhari, right? Buhari took us back. Buhari goes sell crude oil ahead. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Buhari goes sell crude oil ahead. I'm not even sure say that man even say, okay, if the rate for that day when you sell them now 2 naira per barrel, tomorrow if not 3 naira, he go defluctuate. I don't think he even negotiated it like that. That man sell our future. You don't understand what I'm saying. Now turn by turn, make we bring Buhari. And another Buhari is going to come. I'm telling you, another Buhari is going to come if we continue like this. So I understand your representation, but that's why there's federal character. The federal character can take care of that. That's my pushback on that, Mr. Prodmax or Babati. Mr. Babati, thank you. I personally feel that turn by turn is a myth. It's only a perception amplified by the opposition. Absolutely. We've seen that with Atiku, right? Atiku no send turn by turn, no, every time 9 turn. But anyway, I appreciate you for being here, Prodmax Nigeria. True news, my brother. Gouda never come yet. The Gouda is on the way. For now, we're going to drink water, they go. The Gouda is on the way. Anyway, I thank you guys for being here. Omo George and the other rest of the beautiful people in the chat. We have Paparazzi in the chat as number 1. Thank you so much for being here, Paparazzi. Limehouse Studios, Babati, Paul Praise, Rab for sure, Dimeji, and to the other people I know we bring up today, I apologize. We've run out of time. I believe we had a good show today. I appreciate you guys for joining and requesting. But hopefully next time we can bring you guys up. But we've exhausted the time we have for today. I appreciate you guys. Anyway, Dimeji 6330, Kennedy, Prodmax, Niger, Michael, halfway one. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you so much. I will mod Radio Real Estate, make you check out how they sell real estate. TJ Baba, Adeshola, Adenikan, Shashamura, Oboli Friday, up to our store. Check them out too. He gets store. I don't know what they say, but check them out. If they say something where you like. Anyway, Uncle K. We talked to Mr. K, but this one now Uncle K. Thank you, Uncle K, for being here. Baki's Place, Tony, Rolly P, Allegri Pro, Mr. Ty, Toka, Akuigwe, Chuku, and the rest of the beautiful people here. I thank you guys. Sammy on Facebook, he says, thanks, Kachi. We need more of this type of discussions. I appreciate you, Sammy, Mr. Sammy. Thank you on Facebook. Appreciate you. Kayo Dev, Akonde. Appreciate all of this conversation. I appreciate you. But it's high time we begin to look at the things called democracy. Thank you, Mr. Kayo Dev. Thank you so much. OC Melody and all the beautiful people on Facebook. I appreciate you guys. But listen, we're going to have a show on Sunday. Me and Choma. Shout out to Choma. Shout out to Choma. We're going to have a show on Sunday with Choma. I know Sabi pronounce her middle name, but Choma, even her last name, I know Sabi pronounce her. But Choma, we had a show 2 weeks ago. So check that show out. I cut the clips into 22 parts, I believe. Check it out. We're going to have a similar show like that on Sunday where we're going to be discussing Biafra. I don't believe I have the thumbnail here, otherwise I will just display them. But anyway, we're going to have that show on Sunday where we're going to talk about Biafra. Do Ndi Igbo need it? Ndi Igbo, please come on Sunday. Let's talk about why we need Biafra or why we don't need it. Let's talk about it. Choma is going to be in the house. Make a shout out again. Choma is going to be in the house. So we're going to have that show and it's going to be a good show. Until next time, I'm going to see you guys. Peace.